good work against, especially when the two coaches know each other and get on the same game plan so they can get, they're trying to figure out. All these teams are, every team's trying to figure out what they got out of their young guys and their backups. I mean, most teams got a pretty good idea right now. We're not one of them, but a lot of teams know who their veterans are and what they can do from past history, either through free agency on another team or playing on the team they're on right now. And we're in a little different situation here, man. Like we got some guys that they're going to be starters, but they need work. They're going to be starters on this team. There's guys you go, well, it's open competition. Yeah, it's open competition, but the team they're giving certain guys every chance because they know, we talk about them, man. We talk about those guys, and now we got to see, we got to see if they can play. And that's so anyway, I call it in terms of if you were to look at it and it was school, like we've been just doing homework and we've had maybe a little bit of a quiz when we put on the pads, and now we're going to a test as the team gets set to go practice against the Commanders for one practice. By the way, this guy, I'll tell you what, man, half is no question about it. He's not a copycat. He comes in with things like we have not seen 7-on-7. And by the way, I'm finding a lot of people are actually not big 7-on-7 people. And then does a lot of 11-on-11. And he also came in and said, I'm not doing 2 days practicing against teams for 2 days, and had reasons. It wasn't just that's just the way I want to do it. I mean, he's talking about, I don't want second day and the team that got their ass kicked the first day now is coming out and they got to get even and you're breaking up fights. You know what we see when we have these practices, right? Everybody knows when you have a couple of days of practice. You know it's coming 9 out of 10 times. 9 out of 10 times, there's going to be somebody rip somebody's helmet off, somebody hit somebody late in a drill, and then the other guy's got to protect his guy. And actually, I was watching the Seahawks and Hard Knocks yesterday. By the way, whoever says Hard Knocks is old, it's old, it doesn't work on HBO anymore. The Seahawks Hard Knocks is really a good watch. First of all, they're Super Bowl champions. I don't know how often we get the Super Bowl champions. I didn't look at the past history and watch them. Probably some of you get up in the morning that are hardcore sports fans. But Seattle obviously won it all. I think Rams were second best team. They played each other before that game, and I think we'd all agree at the end of the year the Rams and Seahawks are two best teams, and, oh, by the way, in the same division as well. But I thought it was great. I thought Mike McDonald was fantastic because that thing kind of starts with your coach and how he handles things and injured guys in the meetings. I don't know, man. I love that stuff. And they had some guys going at it, and it's just funny. It's just stuff that I hear how he deals with guys, and it's a different world. It's a different time. And I was watching, I almost called some of my teammates last night. You got to watch this because our coach would have never been like that, a zillion years ago. And but he calls guys in, hey, man, you seem like you're a little down, dude. You're a big part of this, and you're one of the best players. We just got to get you healthy, and how you doing? And he was sharing stories about him. Took a shot at Rex Ryan. It was great. Some Rex said about him on a show, and I was like, this is good stuff, man. This is good stuff. Good look for them. And as you're watching them practice, you're going, oh yeah, that guy's really good. Oh yeah, that guy's really good. Seattle's got a really good team. And my last thought was, I'm so glad they're not on our schedule because they're really good on both sides of the football. And so, yeah, that was watching Hard Knocks. I don't know how many of you had a chance to watch it, but I did the day watch, but they were throwing F-bombs. I thought somebody told me the Hard Knocks only, like, after 10 they could curse, and if not, they blinked, they got rid of all that stuff. Oh, no, they were F-bombing. They had the D-line coach. I don't know, the D-line coaches get the worst reputations. It was Rex Ryan like in the old days, where he was just F-bombing everybody. They took it to a new level. They could have put that with, like, the dirty movies, man. It was they really got it out there. But, yeah, they were letting it rip. Anyway, it was real. It was some good stuff, and a lot of their guys were into it and mic'd up and getting after it. And interesting. I mean, it kind of felt like you're on the inside there watching what's going on, the best team in football. And right now they are the best team in football. So anyway, we got that. We got top 25 in college football we want to get into today. The Marlins, Woody just talked about 4-1 loss last night to the Braves, who I think won like 7 in a row now and playing really well. They get guys on. By the way, they get a couple runners on with 2 outs. They come up with a big hit. They find it. They go the other way. They have a guy going to second. The guy from second base goes over. They hit right behind the second baseman. Get it, run in, get 2 runs in. Go the other way. All very fundamentally sound. I don't know how good they're going to be in the playoffs. That thing's going to be wide open. The Dodgers all of a sudden right now aren't very good. For something happens to them with all those big-name guys. But I do know this. When the Marlins get 3 hits, they're not going to win any games. In that 4-1 loss last night. So they got 1 more today, and then tomorrow open up against the Angels, who, by the way, got rid of a lot of guys. Got a lot of guys off that team during the trade deadline because they are zillion games behind, and the Pirates will follow them in town. So all the games big, man, because they're 58 and 57 and starting to leak a little bit for that for those wild card positions. Starting to leak a little bit. And so we got that. Messi was back last night, had a couple of goals, and a 4-2 win for them. And then on top of that, we got the Hall of Fame, as we said, tonight. We've got the top 25 out. I was surprised. I thought the Canes might be a little higher off last year. And because, look, they've been talking about them, about how loaded they are, and they are. By the way, Woody and I will tell you, and Woody and I had what we call our seats. We had great seats and great location, and they are really good. They are legit. When they're doing all this, they're good at this position, they're good at that position, and the only thing, because I get it, and I got it. I went to yesterday. I went to Cracker Barrel, and had that breakfast. Kyle Krabs is with me. We go to Cracker Barrel now. That's our thing. I love Cracker Barrel. I know I can't do it every day, but I did. I did one of those old school breakfasts, Woody. I did the old school like my dad was with me. We used to get up. My dad loved.
Let me guess. There was a runny egg involved.
Oh yeah, had a couple. Yeah. I told her. She looked at me. How do you like your eggs? I go, let them run.
You dip the toast into it.
I go. Let them run. No. I went biscuits. I love those big fat.
Those are good.
Oh, those big fat biscuits. And then you got to decide on the gravy or load it down with butter and jelly. I mean, I was literally trying to kill myself yesterday. It was so good. Bacon. Oh, my God. It was fantastic. And grits with cheese over the top. Oh, so good.
Not a grits guy, but.
Oh, you're not?
No, not really.
These guys got me back here, man. I never had grits growing up.
Really?
One of the foods, I keep saying this, and people from back here are going, where'd you grow up, man? In California, you never had grits. I go, everything was potatoes, man. I'm sorry. Potatoes a zillion different ways, but it was always either leftover potatoes, but it was never grits. Nobody ever threw grits on and said, try this, kid. And honestly, my family never left. Our vacations, or when I was a kid, were all 20 miles away. We were in the mountains, and that's where we went for every vacation. We went in the mountains and camped on a lake. And, man, I thought it was, I thought it was the greatest thing in the world, man. Go out fishing and with your dad and hanging out and just find crazy-ass games to do with a couple of your buddies who go up there with you and have it. But, yeah. So because, I've said a few foods during the time, Woody, and it sounds like, I told everybody I never had a bagel, and they're like, oh, my God, where'd you grow up? And I said, I didn't have chicken wings. Oh, my God, you never had what? So there's a few things. Obviously, I never had key lime pie as a kid. Anyway, glad to be back here in South Florida is what I'm telling you, man. A lot of good stuff going on here with food. Hey, by the way, we've got all kinds of news to get to with the Dolphins. Kim Bocamper is going to be in with us this morning. We'll talk about getting ready for the first test. Yeah, we really haven't had tests yet. Haven't. Like I said, it's been homework. It's been quizzes. But now you get into the bigger test because you only got a handful of them. You only got a handful of these practices against the other team and the preseason game. And I think I heard the Coach Half say that the practices were just as important, if not more. It's not the first time we've heard this. It's as important as the preseason game Friday night against the Commanders, where I'm guessing a lot of guys aren't going to play a lot. So, but there's a lot of stuff to get to with the team. They've added some players. They've lost some players. They did add a defensive lineman, and they did add a tight end to the team with injuries. And so that we're a little banged up at tight end right now, and hopefully going to get Dulcich back here. And I don't know where Ben Sims is right now as well. And then we got a lot with the top 25, coaches top 25, Ohio State number 1. You know, Woody, you wouldn't be surprised if, maybe in the order of it, but you wouldn't be surprised that the Big Ten had 3 of the top 5 or 6 teams, and the SEC had the most teams. Because that's how I kind of look at the conferences. If you're looking at the top, I think the Big Ten has been the best. But if you're looking at overall depth of a conference, I think the SEC is a little better. It's just me. Like, Ole Miss is not up there, but we saw Ole Miss is definitely a good team. So
I feel like you're ranking it in order of, like, how much TV money they get.
I don't know.
Because that's basically how it works, right? Schools that get the most TV money are certainly going to benefit. And that's from the big conferences.
Well, all I'm saying is this, Woody, before you get into any kind of conspiracy theory on me
No,
little
it's
bit.
not a conspiracy.
The
theory.
three Big Ten teams, Ohio State, Oregon, and Indiana. Indiana's actually behind the other 2, which I don't understand. That guy should get the benefit of the doubt. I don't care who's playing. You're number 1, and he's been pretty strong. And then, you look at, I think Georgia was first, Texas was in there, Texas A&M, Oklahoma, and Ole Miss at the bottom of the top 10. And there's good UM and Notre Dame to break up the party a little bit from the big guys. Of course, Notre Dame's going to get the benefit of the doubt on everything.
I saw Notre Dame's schedule yesterday, by the way. Have you seen that thing?
I did. They did a breakdown of
They
on
are
a
going to the
college,
playoff. They could rest their starters.
You saw Vegas
during the
has them the
regular
highest.
season.
They had 11.5 wins.
I,
That means they think they're
They-
talking about
they
if they
are-
go over, they're undefeated.
If there was ever a team that's a lock to make the playoff, because first of all, they're going to try everything possible to get them in. After what happened last year.
If you look at everybody's schedule, even Miami's, I would agree with you. Notre Dame's got the best chance to go undefeated, and they're ranked number 5.
Yeah, Miami's by far the toughest team they play. They could lose that game by 50 and still get into the playoff.
Yes, they're going to get in. That one loss, that new thing.
Not going to matter.
It was like
They lose 2, I would think.
Woody, they came up with this agreement thing, which really was horse crap. If you really, and I understand the
it's
Notre
horse
Dame
crap.
thing, and I don't want any Catholics that love and everything that comes out of Notre Dame is coming from the Pope. But I got to tell you something, man. Anybody puts in a rule, what was that rule? Like if they're in the top 10 or 12, they're automatically in by ranking. That's it. That was a new rule because they were so salty last year they didn't get in. Of course, Miami's going, you guys don't be putting us in your conversation. We beat your ass. Doesn't matter when we beat you, we beat you. So don't put us in there if you're upset.
They can lose 2. There's no way. I don't think they could lose 2, but
I don't think they can lose 2 either.
depending how good or bad they are. But man,
Woody, there's one team in Las Vegas that's at 11.5 wins. It's them.
well, that schedule is quite ridiculous.
Yeah. Hey, listen, I don't know what happened. They used to play. Do they still play USC?
Not on that schedule.
They used to. Remember, USC was always on their schedule. Stanford's different now too. But yeah, that schedule is built. That's a great call by you, Woody, this morning here at 6:17 about Notre Dame.
I mean, you play Wisconsin in your opener. They haven't been very good lately.
No.
Yeah, Michigan State on there, Purdue.
No.
The Fighting Belichicks. By the way, did you see their dogs in week 1?
What's wrong? Did you call them the Fighting Belichicks?
Yeah. You got Boston College, SMU, Syracuse.
They're trying to figure out if they can save Michael Lombardi. They got this.
Oh.
They're getting ready for football, and they got this drama. Like North Carolina's got more drama in any school that's not very good. It's incredible.
Yeah.
We got the year before, we got Belichick and the 24-year-old that wants to run the whole university.
This is going to go down as one of the craziest
And Michael Lombardi of
worst
all
hires
schools,
ever.
like that stuff's supposed to happen in the really good schools, not a really bad. What did Michael Lombardi do?
They spent a lot of money to turn themselves into a laughingstock.
They said they're going to try to get through this process, this investigation, as quickly as possible. Belichick.
What a joke.
Oh, man. All right. Listen, we've got a lot more stuff to get to. I'll tell you what, it is great. How much Hall of Fame are you going to watch tonight, though, before I go to break? Just give me, how much do you have in you tonight?
Give me 2 drives. Is that fair?
Any of you guys that stay up and watch this whole thing, can you bet on this game tonight or no?
Of course you can bet on it, Joe. I'll have lines for you later.
I got to tell you, if you bet on this thing,
don't insult us.
I just
There's
want
no
to
need
say
to
you
insult
officially have a gambling problem if you bet on the Hall of Fame game tonight. You need to go see somebody. That little thing they do at the bottom, take them up on that. That little if you have a gambling problem, here's the line. I want you, after you place the bet, to call them.
I'll get you the numbers later on in the show. I got to get your picks, by the way, so you get your.
I'm not doing Hall of Fame picks.
You got to get
especially not doing a Hall of Fame pick.
It's week 0, bro.
Woody, you're going to be watching a game. You don't know a lot of guys.
I know.
There are going to be guys making tackles and catches.
It's like betting on a horse race for the most part, for me.
For you. All right. Hey, listen, let's go to break here and tell you about your South Florida Chevy dealers this morning. You got to check out, man, whether it's a car, truck, or SUV, South Florida Chevy dealers. We love our SUV family. Matter of fact, I'll take it a step better than that. I love my Tahoe. Big, comfortable, durable. Everybody's like, why are you driving that big SUV? You got nobody with you. You drive around. There's no kids with you occasionally. Wife doesn't even get in there with you. She didn't do much with me these days anyway. But I got to tell you, man, it's got a lot of room. And then let's get to the truck family. That's what they want me to talk about, the Chevy Colorado. The Colorado custom to the ZR2. Got everything you need here in South Florida. But let's get into the big boys, the big timers, the big sellers, the Chevy Silverado family. You betcha, man. The custom trail boss to the Silverado EV. 10 models and 4 powerful engine choices. Silverado delivers an impressive balance of strength, dependability, and efficiency. Let me tell you about some of those big boys that got something. I always say this. Chevy Silverado trucks, we have one like it's custom made for your lifestyle. Full-time working trucks, family trucks, even trucks to have some fun on a weekend and pull around your wave runners and your boats and go fishing. Man, we got a truck perfect for South Florida lifestyle for you, man. From the Chevy Silverado HD High Country to the Chevy Silverado HD, the powerful LTZ. We got something for everybody, man. You got to check it out. 14 dealerships throughout South Florida. Chevy's got a Florida truck for you. Check it out today. Take a test drive. Fall in love at your South Florida Chevy dealers.
560 WQAM conducts contests from time to time.
I want to say a few things. I really have a chance. Yesterday we got to spend the whole practice down there with them and watch the guys, and they're rotating guys in and out. They truly are. I mean, they're getting there. Everybody gets a chance to get tired in those practices. They're getting it, and and I think a couple of things really impressed me. First of all, that I was talking about to Coach, and tomorrow asked him. I said, "Hey, I got to ask you, man. You got all these guys, got all these true freshmen. I know they're all here for spring football, so they got a pretty good idea how this thing works and stuff. But how do you do this, man? Like this, you can't sell. Like there can't be all open competition. A lot of these guys were so good last year; they know they're going to play. I mean, they were there at that long winning streak. Hell, they almost won. A lot of these guys are a big part of the Region 1 national championship. They're not getting benched, and plus money they're making tells me they're not getting benched. We talk about that in pro football, and so it was funny, but he truly does let those guys compete. Now, don't get me wrong. And he said something really interesting. He goes, I know when our best players, when they're out there, they're going to be the best players in practice. He goes, I just know their makeup. And everybody talks about Malachi. He just made up differently. And look, he's not the most gifted. He's not 6'4". He's not 230 pounds and runs a 4.2 40 and jumps, He's not going to go to the combine and be the combine king. But he is just a great college football player. And it truly starts, I don't know, like we've been there now 3 times, Woody, last year and this year for spring, and started camp last year and this year. And right out of high school, he's first guy out there. Got the jugs gun set up in a corner with a guy spitting footballs out to him while he's catching a football at a pretty, they like to throw it pretty hard at pretty close for reaction time and use your hands. The whole thing is don't body catch it, let it rip and get your hands and your hand-eye coordination and just really sharpen it up is what. He's still a teenager, and we laughed, and then sure enough, man, I hear the sound. We look up, and before 6 o'clock in the morning, and he's out there. And then later on, some other guys came out and did. So he's got all those guys doing that. Then he goes out, and he makes this unbelievable catch in 11-on-11 in the back of the end zone. Pretty well covered. Just jumps over the top of the guy at the highest peak. I'd say at the highest point, and comes down with the ball. And it was just that moment of like, wow, all right, I get it. I get what you're saying. Like, even though the guy was, and that's all they do is talk about how good Malachi was in regular season, in the playoffs, and here he is in the first practice, and you could tell right away he's one of the best players. And so it was impressive, and I get it. So I wanted to say this. They're loaded and stacked, as everybody knows, and every podcaster knows, and every fan that follows this team, they're loaded at defensive back. They are. They got really good cornerbacks. Hell, if I just told you they could just play the cornerbacks from Broward County that they've recruited from St. Thomas American Heritage Plantation, they got really good corners. Then you go to the wide receiver position, and it's truly overloaded. It's truly overloaded to the point some of the guys that they brought in, I didn't even get a chance to really notice because, but they got a lot of guys, and God bless them trying to figure out how to get everybody playing time. The running back position is stacked, and starting with Fletch, and then working down to all the other guys they have, and they've got a bunch. And you put one in, and whether it's catching the ball out of the backfield, or play action, or bootlegs, or anything else, or just handing the ball off inside or outside, they got a really good running back room, and this stuff. So it's the other positions that everybody talks about, and it starts with the offensive line. The only thing they don't have right now is experience. Some of those guys are going to play because the other guys played so much a year ago, and 4 of them are gone, and some other guys mixed in and played some last year, so they're not completely empty of experience. But the upside of some of these guys they have is just off the charts. you look at Jackson Cantwell. He looks so much bigger than he did a year ago. And I was watching him up close, and this guy just screams, I'm going to be a first-round pick. He is, I mean, he's a whole deal there, man. He's a 330, 6'8", 330, the whole thing. Now, I hate when I do these shows because sometimes I talk about guys I see, and yet there's a lot of other guys that might be better and going to be a bigger part of this. But this is just my eyeball standing behind everything. This kid, Ben Cognan, I don't know where he plays. He's 6'8", 330 also. Mario gets these big athletic dudes that come in, not big stiffs, but big guys that look the part of the NFL. And those guys walk by us, Woody, and it's impressive. Because at first you kind of see guys and you think, they're all 6'3". They're all 6'3", 6'4". We're all looking each other in the eyes. Then you get out there, and it's 6'6", 6'7", 6'8", 6'8". Now, not everybody. They got some 6'1", 6'2" guys in there too. But, so, it's just a matter of experience, and I don't think it's going to take a long time before these guys are going to be good. Now, there are going to be some mistakes, and Stanford's going to trick them and run some games and confuse them a little bit. They will. The first game of the year. There's some guys that are going to they're going to look bad on certain plays. And it won't be physical as much as it's going to be mental. Or, you're going to be playing against a guy who's been playing a lot of college football for Stanford that's going to make some plays. But after a month of those guys that we're talking about, and they're stacked with 4 or 5-star guys, really good. Listen, Mario does a great job of finding 3-star guys that nobody else wants till he recruits them, and then they all want them. And so he's got a bunch of good guys. So those positions, what I'm telling you, and pass rusher, the same thing. They had some guys that kind of filled in a little bit for the 2 guys who went in the first round on the outside. But they didn't come out of the game a lot, man. Those 2 guys stayed durable last year. But when they did play, they made some plays. And now they take a bigger role. And the talent's not the question. With Jason, I said, Jason, he goes, it's not talent, man. It's just it's going to be the shoulders up and see how these guys if they want to be great every play. Because the 3 or 4 of them have ridiculous talent. And Jason Taylor knows. JT knows. That's the thing we're going to do. JT knows. So he's got some of those guys, man, that you saw make plays, and they're going to take a bigger role. What I'm telling you is, whatever the position, it's just it's going to be a matter. I think these first 3 or 4 games are just what the doctor ordered. I'm kind of glad you're not playing Florida and Notre Dame to start the season. Probably not good with these guys. Although, been interesting. But I'd much rather, especially for the offensive line and the pass rushers, I'd much rather have this schedule they have. And going on the road is going to be loud. It's going to be packed. Stanford's going to pack it. UM, by the way, when UM plays on the road, people come to see it. They want to see the show. They look at the bad boys are coming to town. And so.
Remember how last season went? That was weird, right? Like they started off playing great ball, beating all those good teams.
Yeah.
And the middle of the season was like the lull.
Yes.
Right? Where you had the slip-ups. And then they really peaked towards the end, right?
Yeah, I'm not sure what happened after. Because, listen, I thought they were headed for the crapper after those 2 losses.
Yeah, you and everyone else. But
at the end of the games. But
no, whatever happened after that last loss, they started to play their best ball. They peaked.
Yes, they did.
Right at the end of that thing.
But anyway,
I took out the big boys in the playoff.
I just wanted, everybody, they had another special on the top 10 teams and breaking them down last night. And
nothing worse, by the way, than these rankings to start the season. I can't stand preseason rankings.
Well, they got
because they benefit the big programs, right?
Yeah.
Like,
what do you mean?
You're going to see teams that are ranked pretty high up there. They're going to lose, right, early on in the season, and they're not exactly who everyone thought they were,
right?
So
They're gonna drop.
I think you should do the rankings. Maybe a month into the
Oh.
season would help.
I just think it's good
I know
for
the
business.
real rankings don't come out till later in
Hey,
the
man,
season, but
you know what they do? They bring out the top 25. All the football cities are talking about the top 25.
I know.
Coaches top
I know
25.
It's fun discussion. But
That's it. It means nothing. You're exactly right. Somebody in that top 20 and that top, I know everybody. I listened to a guy overnight, had a football guy on this morning. He said there's 7 teams that are legit. There's 7 teams.
7?
He said there's 7 teams that have a chance to win national championship.
Okay.
And
That's the
Miami's
problem, though, is
obviously
that
one of
these
them.
guys that say these things they're not going out to every camp.
No, but they gotta.
No.
I will say this on their behalf: they know what you're getting back, they know what's transferred in, and they know what the recruiting classes look like.
Yes, so it's a guess based on that. Yes.
Off that. That's it. And then the coaching. That's why I said, hey, the guy at Indiana should be at the top. Hell,
They lost.
he's got 2 teams ahead of him in his own conference in the top.
Yeah, you also got to replace a Heisman Trophy
That's
winning
true.
quarterback. So.
No, you're right. All right, hey, listen, let's go to break here. We've got a lot of stuff. We got to talk about Chev, the CEO of Loctite Impact Windows, Doors, and Roofing. One of the first guys he always says to me, he goes, Joe, we can't control the weather. During hurricane season, we can't control what happens, but we can control getting you really good products to protect your home. The number one thing, the most important thing in your life is your home, right? Not losing everything and having the best products. That's why I want to tell you, hurricane season is here. Loctite Impact Windows, Doors, and Roofing would love to help you. Their windows Hurricane Category 5 rated. Loctite Impact provides 100% financing with 0 down, no interest, no payments for 1 year. You got no leaky roof? Replace your old roof now. You can pay later. That's right. And if you're going, not yet, I'm not ready, okay, you need roof repairs. I see that. You see the leaks. You know you have them. You don't want to destroy your house. Call Loctite. They got a roof repair part of their company now that they take care of you. The best part in Impact Windows is low. It's $6 per month per window installed. Don't wait for the next storm. Get the deal of a lifetime today. Get started. Whether you're in Dade, Broward, or Palm Beach, Loctite Impact is the name you need to know when you're starting to look around. Who are we going to use? Loctite would love to do it for you. 954-500-LOCK. Get it started. Find out what they're talking about. They got a great staff to answer all your questions. I'm not big on the website myself. I like to talk to people. 954-500-LOCK. Or you can go to LoctiteImpact.com.
Baseball coverage on
We got the messy man back. I love watching his goals in the morning. I do. I do enjoy those highlights. They're always fun. Couple of goals. And back home, Inter Miami gets a win last night, 4-2. But for me, it's watching him run around and things he can still do at age 39. I believe he just turned 39 years of age. And Marlins last night lose for a second night in a row. Only 3 hits on the night, 4-1 loss. And then on top of that, we've got Hall of Fame game tonight. Got the Hall of Fame game. You know, it's kind of gets you fired up, and then you watch it for like, I don't know, man. It's, look, there are going to be people watching. There are going to be people that, I know Woody, going to gamble on it tonight, bet on the game. But Panthers and Cardinals.
Or no?
No, I don't really. I truly don't. Seriously, you gamble on a preseason game.
Don't insult people, man. People are going to bet.
You need to put down, what's that? They put that little number down at the bottom.
Yeah, it's funny. It was really funny the first time you said it 20 minutes ago.
Hi, I'm Joe Rose. You need to call if you bet on that game tonight on any number.
You want me to call them right now and just say, hey, listen, I'm considering betting on the preseason game?
Yeah.
See what they say, just for fun.
Tell you, hey, how long have you had this problem? What are you doing betting on that damn thing? Wait till the games count.
Well, for the people that do care, the over-under is set at 35.5. And the Carolina Panthers are 1.5 favorites.
How do they come up with that with no idea of you got banged up guys? Hell, we've had in the last few days all these banged up guys. I have no idea what to expect. I literally was working on a game last night. I go, I'm getting ready to go. I know what the game was like, and the Commanders and Dolphins played over in Madrid last year.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing in common with this game. Nothing. Plus, it's double the amount of players. It's 180 guys.
Well, usually they're pretty close on these spreads, man, especially like regular season games.
I like to know how they do on these Hall of Fame games. If they're close one way or the other.
Well, we'll have to see where all the money's going. There's some accounts that I follow that'll say like where the money's going.
You know what?
Closer to kickoff.
Take your money, take your football money tonight, put it on the baseball games. Seriously. Look at the pitching matchups and go that way.
You want the Dodgers to lose their 9th straight?
Dodgers can't lose enough, the pigs.
Pigs. Well, you dislike them.
Oh,
Cubbies got them again, huh?
Yeah, they did. Yeah.
A lot of home runs in that game. You see that?
No, I did.
Ohtani and Crow Armstrong hit.
Yeah.
Both hit 2.
Not enough.
No.
Can you imagine that team had a pitching problem with all those guys they have? And they got more coming back. They got Cy Young winners coming back from injury.
Good. They need them, apparently.
Holy crap, man. They are just absolutely loaded. Hey, we're going to have Kim Bocamper. Usually gets here. Big fella gets in here a little after 7, and we'll get into a lot of Dolphin stuff here. We've got wondering which guy's going to be coming back for next week. We've got an update on everybody. And by the way, a lot of guys have really gotten off to a nice start. Overall, a really nice start for a lot of guys. And I call them the 3 guys. Sounds like a pizza. Is it 3 guys pizza? Is that what it is?
Yeah, about 5 guys burgers.
3. I call it the 3 guys, man. Okay. Chop, Kenneth Grant, and Jonas Vainaya. Man, I got to tell you, if they end up being really good players, and we're talking during the year, or we're not talking about them, we're just talking good about them, making plays, and we don't have to worry about that. We got our guard, we got our defensive tackle, we got a good player in the middle there, and we got another offensive lineman. That thing's kind of starting to look solidified as Proctor's getting better on the other side. Man, you just really help this thing, and I know there's a lot of parts to it, and that's not the end, and they still got a lot of things they got to find out about. But the guy you moved up to get in the second round and your 2 first-round picks, if they end up being, and I didn't even talk about this year's first-round picks. There's going to be some growing pains, and I'm prepared. But for those guys that have a lot of snaps, if they can just take it, the 3 guys to the next level, just, confidence back, feel better, feel comfortable. Hey, it's clicking. I realize I can play and I can, look the part. And I get it, man. When you're a high draft pick, there is pressure. There is pressure. And and I am aware, and you guys are beating me up on social media, can beat these guys up. And I'm guessing they're all lying if they don't say they're on their phone all the time, right? And somehow that phone gets negative stuff on it when you go to certain stuff. Or you got buddies that go, dude, they're killing you, man. You know, you got friends out there who are kind of clueless. You know, they're going, dude, you see what they're saying about you? Instead of maybe not saying anything, you got those guys that feel they gotta be real honest with you. And then some cases exaggerate stuff when they hear stuff. To get the guy, you know, we're not trying to do that, man. We're trying to get these guys all built up and get them ready to go in this season. So besides all that, and as I said, the team will travel out Tuesday. Wednesday they'll have a practice against the Commanders, and Jeff Hafley has made it clear this is test stuff. This is no longer quiz. It's no longer homework. It's a test. It's a big one. We're going to see how you do against other guys who are also going to be playing hard and getting after it. There's going to be some guys going to the ground in this practice. You're going to get guys that hit you a little late. And are you going to show up? Are you going to show up and be one of the guys that has good practice? Remember what happened last year, Woody? I'm always reminded. Remember Detroit, that first day?
Yeah, they beat
it
us
was
up.
So bad, It became a national story. That never happens.
And everyone's like, don't worry about practice. It doesn't really mean anything.
No. But they had stuff all over.
They did better the next day, right?
Yeah, they did better the next day. Yeah. But
no,
that practice didn't go away. And honestly, that's how they looked in the first game, that practice.
Someone texted this in. I don't know if you caught this, but USA Today picked the Dolphins to go 1-16.
Ooh.
That seems highly unlikely. And then he took a shot at Omar. You know, I don't know how you see a path to 10 wins, and how could they be so far apart?
Listen, there's one guy saying 10 wins. Even the guys who are working for the team aren't saying 10 wins. I mean, come on.
But one?
I'm with you.
Brutal.
I think they'll get more than one win. I think there'll be more than one win. Unless a lot of guys are really bad. And I've already seen big growth in a week. I've seen a lot of guys get a lot better.
Yeah, 1-16, you got the first pick and you're drafting a quarterback.
Probably. You know, that's a great point. If you're 1-16, you're probably looking at your quarterback. You're right.
Imagine it's not that bad. You were around a 1 and whatever. What was it?
With Zach Thomas and Jason Taylor on the team.
Did that feel? What did it feel like in camp?
By the way, we're over. I still remember we lost to the world champions by a touchdown. I go, you know what? Was it like? If I'm wrong on this, we went over to England and played in London, and we lost by a touchdown, if I'm not mistaken. And I was like, hey, you know what? We're okay. We'll be all right. We won one game, and honestly, we should have lost that game as the Ravens. You remember that we had like a run defense giving up like 160 yards a game, and they're down ready to score, and they decide to kick a field goal instead of win the game with a touchdown. So then, of course, we come back and get that one win. Boy, I'll tell you what.
Did it feel bad in the training camp, though, that season?
No, it didn't feel that bad. Nobody's ever going. Nobody ever goes,
but you can tell. You can get bad vibes. Like last season, you were just talking about last season.
I didn't think we were going to win one game ever last year.
They were bad vibes coming out of that training camp. Like, I did not feel very good about what we were rolling out there.
No, but I didn't think we were going to.
We had some talent on the roster.
I thought we were a 500 team, and we almost were. Yeah. That's what I thought we were. I didn't see better,
500 is not so good, especially for all the money they invested into that.
No, 7-10 is not going to cut it, and you know what happens. Your number one receiver gets hurt. Go, well, he's out. So, and so that was getting old. But anyway, hey man, it's hard to imagine right now that this team's going to be 1-15. Just on the improvement, they're well coached. 1-16, 17 games, and then on top of that, I am really looking forward. We got to have this offensive line thing taken care of at right tackle. I wish and I hope Austin's ready to go. I hate to do that to one guy with all these guys on the team, but
someone asked if to win 5 games. You know what? The first game is going to be very telling.
Yes, it's a great call.
Right? You're playing another crap team. Team that had the first pick.
And they went out and spent a lot of money in free agency.
Yeah.
They spent a lot of money on a center.
Not a very good team.
Probably,
so you will
probably
going to
start Kirk Cousins, which a lot of people are going. If you're playing the Dolphins in game 1, why would you not play your first overall pick?
And if that game goes poorly, it's probably going to snowball because you got some rough ones on the schedule behind them.
Yeah. No, I'm not disagreeing with it, but I am not going to sit here and say we're going 1-16.
No, that was USA Today that said that. One more for you here, Joe. 305 tells us the over is hit in the Hall of Fame game 6 of the last 9 years and the last 4 years in a row.
Has it really?
Yeah. So there you go.
They hit the what?
The over.
Oh.
Carson going to have a
What would you say?
tonight?
It was 35 points?
Yeah, 35 and a half.
Huh.
35 and a half.
I guess everybody's going over tonight.
Is that your pick officially?
No, I wouldn't touch it. I don't trust any of it. I'm expecting like 4 or 5 turnovers. It could get sloppy. It could get ugly. You know what tonight's about? Besides looking at a lot of young guys, the back half of the 90-man roster for these guys in this Hall of Fame game, who, by the way, have to play an extra game, is make sure all their key guys stay healthy on the sideline. Get a little jogging in before the
game.
game.
A lot of touchdowns, by the way. What was that, 5 touchdowns and a field goal you need to cover that thing?
That's not that many.
For those guys, it might be.
That's not that many. Hey, we got to go to break here. We got 7 o'clock hour coming up here. More stuff to get to. Yeah, man. I appreciate everybody from all over. We got guys telling me Malik's had a terrible camp, and honestly, for every national guy said Malik's had a bad camp. Seriously, you should probably just don't write about the team. Whoever's giving you that information, seriously, it's just not accurate. If you're really watching what he does with what he has, you'd realize he's had a pretty damn good camp and is your number one guy. And I can't wait to see him when this thing starts. I cannot wait when he is using those legs and that arm. And get ready to go, man. When that play breaks down, you better run for an open area because that guy's got a cannon for an arm. Hey, I want to tell you about Dr. Barry and at Recovery Unplugged. They always got your back. And it's summertime. A lot of things happen, man. A lot of things happen as we get older. Mental health is an issue. Anxiety is an issue. And we've all been through it. We have. At some point you do. The question is, if you can't get out of it on your own and you need some help, whatever's happened in your life. Hey, man, we got friends going through divorces. You lose your job. Things happen. There's changes. You get that call. We don't need your services here anymore. Dr. Barry and Recovery Unplugged, they got your back. And they're ready to make sure we get you back on the road again with your mental health and feeling better. Their mental health residential program in Fort Lauderdale is a private, comfortable space for you to heal with music-based care that hits the right note. They accept most major insurance plans, but they got a great staff to make sure. Went down there, spent a few hours with Dr. Barry and the whole staff, and it was just so impressive. And the people there and the people going through it and the programs, it's I just think if you know somebody right now that's going through it or you're going through it yourself and you realize and you've been told by people that care about you, hey, man, you need to go get some help, go to Recovery Unplugged. Call 954-737-4508 or visit recoveryunplugged.com. This summer, heal out loud.
Odyssey stars QAM Miami, an Odyssey sports station. The home of Joe Rose with Hollywood, Tobin and Leroy, and Hawk, Crowder and Solana. South Florida sports lives here.
Powered by Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys.
Call 1-800-747-FREE.
That's 1-800-747-3733.
This update is brought to you by Doral Kia in Miami, the Domino's game. You'll always find your Abuelito, and whenever you want a low price, you save the Pricito. Save now, the Pricito at Doral Kia. Starting with the Marlins, who fell again to the Braves 4-1. Miami will look to avoid the sweep tonight with the first pitch at 7:15 from Truist Park. You can catch the game right here on WQAM. To the Dolphins, who return to training camp this morning in Miami Gardens. Practice begins at 9:30 from the Baptist Health Training Complex. And tonight the NFL is back with the Hall of Fame game. Carson Beck will get the start for the Cardinals, who will take on the Panthers. Kickoff is at 8. And finally to soccer. Inter Miami beat San Luis 4-2. Messi scored twice in the win. Next up, Miami will host Monterrey on Saturday. Time for weather, brought to you by Tornado Roofing and Contracting. Have a leaky roof? Take action now. Get your free estimate, 954-968-8155. Joe, we all have afternoon thunderstorms, very probable here today.
Well, we got to get that practice in this morning.
Yep.
That's why we do it in the morning. Second of all, got to get that tennis in early, too, if you're going to play, or maybe take your chances when it gets a little bit later in the day. Been a little nasty out there. That lightning and thunder. Hey, Kim Bocamper is going to join us coming up here in just a few minutes. The big fella on his way down here to Dade County, and so he'll be with us. We're going to talk a lot about the Miami Dolphins coming up. We got a lot of stuff, including the start tonight, the Hall of Fame game, as the Panthers and the Cardinals. Carson Beck, in case you didn't watch all the local news yesterday, gets to start for Arizona. I'd love to see Carson Beck end up getting a chance to play a lot this year. I don't know if I've seen a guy get knocked around and bashed as much as he did leaving Georgia. I was kind of happy for the guy last year. I really was. I thought he rehabbed himself really well from where he was. I was a little worried after spring football he couldn't throw, and he didn't get back in time, and I was like, this could be bad news. And he comes back. He worked his ass off and came back and got his fastball back and was able to play. So, I don't know. It would be a nice story to see him at some point get a chance with the Cardinals, to another team that not expected to win a lot of games. By the way, talk about being in a tough room. How about that one, Woody? How'd you like being in a Cardinals room? Huh? I think San Francisco right now is clearly the third best team. It's weird. I think Kansas City's the third best team in their division. I know you laugh at me. I think Chargers and Denver are both better. I think L.A. Chargers and the Denver Broncos are better than Kansas City.
Yeah, that's what they're hoping, that you'll count them out.
And then the other one is the Rams. I think Rams and Seattle last year were two best teams in football.
The Rams are favored to win it all.
Yeah, and Seattle, and they gave Seattle a good game last year.
A hell of a game.
And then Seattle went on and clobbered, beat New England up pretty good. But boy, I'll tell you what, Arizona's going great. We got those three. San Fran getting older. I think 49. I don't know how else to say it. 49ers look like clearly the third best team in the NFC West right now. Anyway, we're going to find out in week 2 just where they are after week 1. And Rams and 49ers open up, right? Don't they have to fly like 200 miles or 200 hours away from here going to Australia? That's a long flight, man. You know, we had some things come up, and we have a friend that dating somebody in Australia. And she goes, "Are you coming over?" One of my daughter's really good friends. And I said, "Oh, I hope you'll come over. We'd love to." And her boyfriend's a big sports fan. And I go, I don't know, man. That's a long flight. You ever want to go to Australia, Wood?
I mean, I'd love to, but the flight sounds like whew. Although I will tell you, we just did a 12-hour flight, and it was a lot easier than I thought it was going to be. They load you up with those like 3.5-hour-long movies.
Yeah.
All these movies
I don't mind
that like I can't watch here because I just don't have the attention span.
I don't mind. I didn't mind that.
Yeah, when you're locked on the plane, you just you watch all these movies.
I didn't mind that. we went over to Madrid last year. It was great. It was.
Yeah, but what that flight is, that's an extreme flight. Australia.
Yeah, no, that's different level. That's.
You got to get to your tennis over there, man. You got to get the career slam.
I'm not going to see that one. That's the one that's going to end up.
Don't say that. Never say never.
No. I still got to get to the U.S. Open.
Well, that should be the easiest of the slams.
The U.S. Open is coming up. I got tickets set up. I'm all set up. I just.
You're going this year?
No. It's got to be soon.
Okay.
It kind of is in the preseason, start of the regular season in there.
Yeah.
But there is always a chance. I've just burned up so many days that probably won't do it. Hey, Wood, we got all kinds of stuff going on here, though. As I said tonight, Carson Beck gets a start in the Hall of Fame game. We got our top 25 out. The Miami Hurricanes at 7 in the coaches poll, and it's, as you would probably have guessed, it is fully loaded with the top of it, the Big Ten again, Ohio State, Oregon, and Indiana in the top 6 spots. And then it's got a lot, and I mean a lot, of SEC. 5 of the top 10 teams are SEC teams, 1 ACC team, UM, and, of course, 1 independent team that gets lots of love, Notre Dame, who comes in at number 5, by the way. UM comes in at number 7. Boy, that game is gonna be a fun one to see what happens. And I feel good, man. I'll tell you what, I was out there for the first practice, and I've said it now for 2 days. The Canes look really good. Now, I know the coach wasn't happy with the practice, and we talked to both coordinators, and of course, nobody's ever going to go, first practice, man, this is what it's supposed to look like. It's like those guys are made up like, yeah, man, we got a long way to go. You can't be happy, and I get it. But I'm just sitting watching as a fan, and I'm going, you know what? This thing looks pretty good. This thing looks the part. It does. Everything that everybody's saying, the receiver room that impressed me the most, not even was the separation that receivers get. The quarterback just trusts him, even in tight coverage, to throw it. And the amount of catches when they were well covered that those guys made was very, very impressive. Listen, we're going to get all caught up here. We got Kim Bokamper going to join us here in just a moment. We'll have Bo on, and we'll get caught up with all the news. We got a lot of Dolphin stuff to get to here. They're back practice today, practice tomorrow and Saturday, off on Sunday, and next week we'll be going to Washington for a practice against the Commanders, and then Friday night having the game. So we'll have all that stuff before we get you caught up on the news in the top 25. We'll talk about the Canes a little bit as well. And so there's a lot of stuff going on here this morning to make sure we get to. First, though, I got to take a moment this morning to tell you about Atlantic Men's Clinic, ED, and Low T. It's going to be gone. It's going to happen to every guy out there, by the way. Low T and ED are just part of getting older, man. It's not an embarrassment. Guys are like, see, it's funny. Guys will say, I got low T, I know, and I'm tired all the friggin' time. And God, do I know that. I've been taking naps myself. ED, hey, nobody's going to go, hey, by the way, Joe, I got ED, man. Nothing's working. My wife looks great, and nothing's happening in my bedroom with my wife. I get that, man. That's a private topic. But I do want to let you know, when you go to Atlantic Men's Clinic, it's all going to disappear. Energy level back, sex drive back, no longer hit and miss, no longer taking that little blue pill that gives you a headache when you have a few drinks. It's all done, man. It's done. Atlantic Men's Clinic works. And I want to let you know, you got to set up that first appointment. If you'd like to turn back the clock and get your energy level, enjoy your vacations more, your weekends more, and get your sex drive back, I don't know, it's important to me. And I've been on the Atlantic Men's Clinic program for 2 years. I went the first time, got the PSA test, got the results. They put me on a program that was made for me to get great results. But the big thing is we got 7 locations in South Florida to serve you. I go to Plantation, brand new location in Hollywood. Call them today, 877-455-7300, or visit AtlanticMen'sClinic.com. I can just tell you one thing. Atlantic Men's Clinic works.
WQAM.
number 58 from San Jose State, out of Milpitas High School, Kim Bokamper.
Boy, what an introduction that is. Kim Bokamper, the pride of San Jose
Who's that
State.
guy on the other side of the
Good
glass
to see
there?
you, Bo.
Who's that guy on the other side of the glass?
I don't know, man.
I don't recognize that
Everybody's
guy.
been saying that. He took a couple weeks. He took a couple weeks
I did
off.
the Joe Rose special.
Oh, no. Don't throw me into it, man. He always does that to me, and I go, I'm older. I need to take more
I stuck
time.
my head in there, and when I walked out, he said, "Hey, ciao." Come back from Italy.
Yeah, I did pick up the language.
Did you come back with a bunch of soccer cards, Italy soccer cards or whatever?
You know,
Huh? Did you
not
delve
a lot
into
of sports going
delve
on
into
up
the
there.
soccer world?
There really wasn't. Not,
You didn't
not a
go
ton
to
of-
see the clay over there, the clay courts?
I didn't see any
Really? No?
tennis. I saw some Formula One. That's pretty big over there.
Where'd you see Formula One at?
They had stores and stuff.
Oh,
all
you mean
over.
just stuff?
Yeah,
Yeah.
But I didn't. Not a lot of soccer stuff going on. Maybe
Well, their
'cause
soccer
team got
team's
snubbed
so
from
bad,
the,
they
World
can't make-
Cup,
yeah.
Oh, they couldn't even. Yeah.
Everybody makes a World Cup except Italy.
They're a little down on it there.
They've
or-
had a rough go here. Rough
Yeah, that's
go.
not a bad thing for Italy to make. I mean, that's a bad thing for
Yeah,
Italy
that's their
not to
sport.
make it, man.
That's their sport, and they're not
Yeah.
very good at it.
Yeah.
That's an issue. So anyway, hey, Bo, man, we got all kinds of stuff going on. I got to tell you, you know what? First of all, I got to tell you, you said some stuff a couple weeks ago, and it got an unbelievable reaction about being patient with this team.
Yeah.
Both ways. Both ways.
I got my ass bit.
No, it's
Patient.
both
Ah,
ways.
Jesus, we've been patient for.
But I got to tell you, and I'm getting more and more of this, and we were out there in the day. It was packed on a Sunday, and people have, well, first of all, from the first practice to where they are now is like night and day.
Yeah.
How much better they are with Jeff Hafley and what he's done so far. And now the big test is coming up because he put a real priority on these practices with the other teams. He said they're as important, if not more important, in the preseason game.
Yeah, you know, it's a really a whole, you know, and look, the past is the past. But I just like the messaging that he brings to the table. And look, he's like, hey, we're gonna, you know, when we're in padded practices, hey, if you want to get a little rough, get a little rough.
Yeah.
You know, he wants guys, and so you can see the physicality on the practice field.
I can see it without pads.
Without pads, exactly. And so that's good. And I just like the way, you know, so I think the reason what we're seeing on the field is what they've done. They've flushed out all the old guys, all the guys that were kind of the guys that were, you know, the cranky guys that were causing problems in the locker room and stuff and not coming to practice. And now he's got these young guys that are aggressive. They want to make, you know, look right now everybody in that team has a chance to make the team. These guys come in with a clean slate, right? They're all young guys. And not to say they're going to be a good football team, but I think there's a chance that they're going to be a little better than maybe some people think. It's refreshing. It's refreshing to see the way they practice. And I'll tell you what. So I'm sitting up there. Well, I was sitting up there the other day with Goldie watching practice, and you know, you look around and you know everyone looks at what's on the field, and I do too. But I kind of look around too to see what's going on in Hull, and I'm looking and they're doing 11 on 11, and John Eric Sullivan is standing in the end zone by himself, watching the practice, not sitting over there bullshitting with, excuse me if I can, with somebody else, not you know, but just watching
Right.
practice and watching his guys and evaluating and stuff like that. And it's it's a small thing, but it's something we haven't seen in a long time. You know.
You know what I see? It's funny because we all see things we watch. You and I stay up there and watch after practice. I want to see. And I see a bunch of young guys that realize they got a great chance.
Yeah.
And they're not taking a backseat to anybody because they're getting a chance. And he's mixing in all the young guys with the veteran guys that are here. Malik's throwing to everybody.
Yep.
Malik's throwing to damn near every one of those receivers to find out.
Malik's throwing and Malik's catching.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, Malik Washington's
Yeah.
been really good.
Yeah.
Listen, good for Malik Washington. Really good.
Yeah.
I think he's the best receiver they have right now, and we'll see what happens. We're only a week into this thing, and I'm curious as they now going to play against different people and different drills and how everything goes. I want to ask you about Malik Willis right off the bat.
Yeah.
I think under the circumstances of everything, I'm watching him getting better and better.
Yeah.
And physically, I got to be careful because, people exaggerate things, and I'm guilty. Physically, he is one of the most gifted throwers.
Yeah.
And I know he can run. We haven't seen it yet, but I've seen the highlights of
Well,
how
they're
he
not.
runs.
They're not letting him throw.
No, they're
letting him
not.
run because there's no need for it right
But,
now.
Bo, how about when he just runs around
Yeah.
and buys some extra time? Somebody has a breakdown and he can
Yeah.
run around. It's Sandlot football. Run for an open area,
Yeah.
brother. I'll find you.
Yeah, and we've seen
He's been
him
real good.
and we've seen him. Some of the best throws he's thrown were overthrows because the guys aren't getting down the field fast enough, and
Right.
that arm is there's no question that his arm isn't lively, right?
Oh, he threw some darts out one. I think I'm sitting next to you today. He's throwing it down the middle, ripping it to 2-2 on just hits him in stride. It was going to be a huge play, and he's got guys that he's really got good time with. You can tell they're spending time together. But if he gets any help, and listen, it goes back to something you always start with before you get to receivers. Probably should talk about the offensive line. Are you concerned about the Austin Jackson thing a little bit? It's day to day.
You can't not help be concerned, right?
Yes.
You can't. I mean, with the history
He's
that
missed
you've
20
seen
games
from him,
the last 2 years.
and they really haven't. They've had one practice in pads, right? I believe one
Couple now.
and he's out, and so you gotta be concerned with that, and look, I think I've been watching Jonah a little bit, and he's so. You got to hope. You got to hope that side of the line carries the water that they need to carry. But Austin being out is a little disconcerting, and Dolchich hasn't been practicing a little bit. I don't know what Sawyer's is a little something.
Sawyer's been banged up
and
for
I don't know
almost since the start. He's been out.
Yeah.
And again they're making it sound like none of these are serious.
But it's every I see guys out there that maybe get dinged up a little bit and they want to get back in. It's so instead of getting dinged and want to get out.
I know what you're saying, and you're going old school on me a little bit here because you think a lot of these guys should, even if they're a little banged, get back out there and try to play. And I've had this discussion here recently with Omar and stuff too. But you got to be healthy enough where you can compete. And
I understand.
But I am worried about Austin Jackson.
Yeah,
the day to day, and he goes, "Hey, the good news is day to day." I don't know, Bo, and nobody's told us what the injury is. I'm guessing it's toe. The toe thing is back, and it's just not it.
Well, if the toe thing's back, then that's going to be that's going to be a problem.
It's not going to get better.
It is because it's been that way for year and a half. You know what I mean?
And Charlie Heck backup is, there's going to be some growing pains there.
Yeah.
But I don't know what else.
But therein lies you don't get Sawyer, who you're expecting to be that guy that if this guy doesn't if Austin doesn't work out, okay, you got Sawyer. If Jonah doesn't work out, okay, you got Sawyer, but now he's not
right.
There,
And this is reality. It's not just practice. It could happen again in a month from now.
Yeah.
So that leads to the other one. You got your first pick in the draft playing left guard.
Yep.
At what point the coach has been like, no, we want him to be the left guard. The offensive coordinator, Bobby Slowick's been a little bit more open about, we might have to do a little cross training here. What do you think?
Well, so it's funny. So it's a long time till the first game, but it's not a long time till the first game. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So if it's going to be a situation where that Austin is going to be out for a long time, or
how about just dinged up and down,
or it's
like
just
this?
going to be up and down.
Yeah.
If he's going to be in and out, and you're not seeing anything about Sawyer, who was kind of be the guy that can, then I think it would be differential for the team if you don't start thinking about that guy, about him, putting him over on the right side in that tackle and where he's going to end up. Or certainly everyone knows Proctor's going to end up over there next year for the right.
When this thing's said and done, he's going to be a right tackle.
Right.
That's why he was taken where he was. Yes.
Yeah. So the issue is, let me give you the issue. So if you make that move And look, if you make that move, you got to make it within this next week, I think, right?
He needs some time.
He needs to get some time over there. You can't just wait until day one or week one.
Put him out there against
go,
Max
hey,
Crosby.
we're going to push you out there, right? You got to make that decision. And if you make that decision, what do you do with Jonah? Because you don't want those two guys over. I don't. Do you put him back over to the left side, and put him back where?
So
Yeah,
I think
yeah.
they don't want to mess with Jonah. It looks like he's everybody's saying positive things about him right now. He talked about losing his confidence last year. He has it back. I don't want to mess with him. Like
but you're going to go into week one with Proctor and Jonah on that side, especially with Max running around there.
Can you imagine the meetings? If we're talking about it, the meetings, those offensive meetings, that they're going, all right, what do? We got to give this thing a chance. And you're talking to your doctors, obviously. All right, this Austin Jackson thing, it's day to day, but is it going to same thing's going to pop up every so often? He's going to have to take time off, and he's going to miss a lot of practice.
So it's funny. People, I've had someone say, just his toes, or just his,
Oh no, the toe's terrible. Did this the other day.
But that's look. I mean, I've had toe injuries. You've had toe
Two
injuries.
surgeries.
Yeah, and you say you got a 330-pound guy there, and you're worried about his toes, but that's what hits the ground first, right? And so a toe injuries. I tell you what hurt me the last couple.
Did you numb it? I numbed mine.
What hurt
It's
me
terrible.
the last couple of years of my career was my feet were broke. My arches were breaking down, and I didn't have that. When you go to plant and you try to push off, you're kind of I kind of had to like small step it, because you just couldn't your ankle or my foot wouldn't hold up, and so it's a small thing. But it's probably one of the most important. You starts from the ground up, right?
I agree that I'm not taking the toe lightly. I said this the other day. O.J. McDuffie. I literally
OJ,
do.
there
I
you
said
go,
O.J. knows about toe too, and
Yeah.
he actually texted me back, and I was just like, look, man, it's a serious injury. Like when you can't, and now you can't push off your toes to get where you need to. I don't care if you're 330 or 190 pounds. It's an issue.
Yeah.
So, and I know Austin Jackson, man, we talked to him, you and I see him, and he's positive, and, man, you're just hoping that thing, he took some time off in the offseason.
We were walking out of practice during one of the mini camps or OTAs or whatever they do it, and we ran across him and talked to him a little bit.
Super
he said,
positive.
Feeling really good.
Yeah.
Look, he's a good guy. He's just, it's just,
First week, though.
Yeah.
First week. Yeah. Here we are, and you don't have a lot of depth, and so – what do you have to put out there? And they're saying, again, Charlie Heck played some games last year. I think in Tampa Bay played. He had some starts, but he's gonna have to get himself ready to go. And then that big decision: what do you do with your number one pick?
Yeah.
They're like, damn, I just wanted to leave him at left guard for 1 year, let him get comfortable and confident there, man, and might have put him out there going against the best pass rushers in the business, man.
Yeah.
So. Anyway, Bo, let's we got to go to break here real quickly. We got a lot of stuff with the Miami Dolphins. Kim Bocamper in the house with us this morning. Right now, though, I want to take a moment to tell you about Mike Okatsi at Choice Mortgage. Man, if you need cash to pay off liens, judgments, IRS, high interest rates, second mortgages, credit card debt, you can call Mike Okatsi at Choice Mortgage, 561-441-2730. Call or text him. Easy to do. If you own a commercial or residential property with equity, call Michael again right now. He can help you. He's been helping Floridians for more than 30 years. Looking to buy a home today? He'll get you pre-approved with little money down and do it fast. Now's the time to lock in before interest rates go even higher. Call his cell phone or text him. The guy works 24/7. Yes, he works on Saturday and Sunday. And if you call and he doesn't pick up, leave him a message or, text him, 561-441-2730. Nobody does it better and give you better service than Michael Okatsi at Choice Mortgage, MLS 166254. Rates and terms subject to change, daily without notice. He's an equal housing lender.
The Joe
It's time for Hollywood's headlines. Without further ado, here's Hollywood.
All right, welcome back. Woody, what do you got for us here this morning?
All right, Joe, we have ESPN 8, the Ocho. You know, they do this every summer here, is celebrating its 10th anniversary. And beginning today through August the 9th, you will be able to watch content across ESPN, ESPN2, ESPNU, and the ESPN app. There's also going to be 10 competitions airing live from the ESPN Wide World of Sports complex at Disney, which you can go watch in person.
Are they playing dodgeball?
Well, yes, dodgeball is definitely one of them, Bo. But there's a lot of different. There's some new events this year, including combat archery, the paddle smash world championship, often described as a blend of pickleball and spike ball. The housekeeping games, the broom hockey championship, something called the death diving league.
You know what they need to bring back, Joe?
What?
Barrel jumping. You remember that back in the day? When they'd ice skate and they'd jump over the barrels.
I don't remember.
That was like the big. Well, that was like the big thing when ESPN first started, because that's like one of the only live events they could get.
I got to tell you, they're doing a lot of stuff on the weekends, and I know they got a lot of time to chew up there and need stuff. Some of that stuff, I can't watch.
So we got the hacky sack championship, knock hockey. You ever play knock hockey? You must
No.
have played that as a kid.
No.
You ever played knock hockey? The wood hockey board with the plastic sticks. You never played that?
No.
No. I used to play the one with the where you had the little guy where you pull the
Yeah, I had
things
that.
back. That game. That needed skill.
That
you
and
know?
the vibrating football game. And you had to get them. They go around until they got touched.
Those are the best.
Surprised you don't know knock hockey. All right, Joe. We talked about this yesterday, and looks like maybe they were listening, made some changes here, but the Preakness is moving back 8 days in a bid to revive the Triple Crown.
This
So
guy's
asking
been
you
getting
shall
me. This
receive.
guy's been doing all this horse stuff.
I think we have an impact on the sport.
So-
Well, look, horse racing. They're a dying breed, man. I mean,
Hey.
that's
Let me tell you, the night you and I went to this event for Seth,
yeah,
we all sat together at the same table.
Yeah.
Chris Atkins and
yeah.
Jimmy was with us, and we had the girls with us, and that was a nice evening. It was a nice
Yeah.
evening. And matter of fact, we went and had drinks after. And as I'm leaving, this lady for Gulfstream comes up to me,
Why don't you talk about horse racing more?
miserable female.
Yeah,
I wanted to call her a bitch, but
Yeah.
a miserable female. And she comes up to me with my wife there, and my wife never goes to anything, right? And one of the reasons she doesn't go
Yeah.
is for what happened.
yeah.
So my wife, who doesn't get involved in anything, standing next to me, we're getting ready to leave, and this lady comes up to me, and I'm waiting for you, because you're over talking up in the front. You're saying goodbye to Jason and
Yeah.
everybody, and you're being nice about it. And she goes, I just want to tell you something. She goes, your lack of knowledge on horse racing is absolutely embarrassing that you're on the radio
Yeah.
and stuff. And at first I was like, I never talk about horse racing.
Yeah.
And, I was thinking, what could she be talking about? And she goes, you're talking about the breeding and stuff and just stupid stuff that you were saying. And she goes, I just want to let you know I thought it was pathetic. And she walks away.
Wow.
So, and we're dressed up. We're
Yeah.
having a nice evening.
Yeah.
Seth has this nice event that he does and raise money for the Jason Taylor Foundation. And my wife was like, she just wanted to get out there. I think she had like 3 vodka cranberries when we got out of there. And so I was like, friggin' Woody was doing this stupid ass stuff about the horses when they get
Yeah.
hurt and still breeding, like shoot them up so they can still breed before they kill them. And
So
You
Woody
know,
got you in trouble.
Woody was just being a
thrown
smart
in-
ass, like he
Woody got you
knows.
thrown in the bag, right?
and
the
she,
best thing is this happens a lot. Like, people will mistake who's saying
Yeah,
whatever.
right. Yeah.
This happened, remember at Kane's practice?
yeah.
Mike Tannenbaum came up to Joe.
That was not Mike
hilarious.
Tannenbaum and my. Why is that? I like to get along with some of the people that work here when they're done. Just when like Mike Tannenbaum.
Let me ask you a serious question. If Secretariat, he's like the best horse ever, right? If he hurt his hoof and couldn't race anymore. You'd still breed him.
No, you wouldn't if it's
Why?
broken.
What does his hoof have
No,
to
yeah,
do
you
with
would.
breeding?
Yeah, you would.
What do you think?
course
He
you
thinks they let
would.
him limp around and eat the best hay out in the thing. Like, I know you can't
Hey,
get
look,
around.
you know what, Joe?
They're dead. They kill him right away.
He doesn't need to go to an ED specialist
No.
to get the job done. you know?
no.
Bo is not agreeing with you, by the way. You understand that, right?
Look, I'm not saying
Bo,
I know
if they
a lot
break
about.
the leg, they're done.
Well, they can't run anymore.
They're not.
Yeah, but
they're
they
not
can-
Well,
staying
look,
around
if
to
they're-
breed
You're
them.
not going to put Secretariat
Let me
down
tell you
because
what.
he can't
Let
run.
me tell you what. If any horse that's won the Kentucky Derby, or any of
Let me
these,
hear this,
or any
yeah.
of these the three races, any of them that are one of those that have won those, if they break their leg, they're going to try to keep those things breeding as long as they can. Whether they got to
course.
put a cast on them,
Yeah.
whether they got to put a peg leg on them, or whatever. It takes.
Oh my God, you're as bad as
Whatever.
he is.
Hey,
he
it's-
said
all-
have our old
it's all
doctor
about-
shoot him up so he
let me
wouldn't
ask
feel
you,
it.
So you see they're 3-year-olds, right? For the Triple Crown, 3-year-old horses, right? You got a 3-year-old horse that could live till 20 or whatever. I don't know how long a horse lives, but they live a long line. And you got a horse that gets about, I don't know, $10 million per,
Shot.
per shot. You're gonna keep that horse.
Love shot.
You put that horse in a sling if you have to. You know.
Yeah.
No, that's
course.
what he said. I
'Cause
don't. I don't think
but-
that's true.
But,
Of
so,
course it's true.
so take a look. If you look at
Somebody out there.
if you look at most of those,
Vinny, I'm gonna call Vinny Viola. Vinny's got.
I may be
He'll tell
completely
you.
wrong, but most of those horses that win those races, they don't race very much afterwards.
I
right?
agree. I'm not
They kinda
disagreeing with that.
and look, they're
it's time to breed.
They're 3 years old, and I like the harness race. I used to be around the harness track a lot with a friend of mine, and those horses are like 15 years old and they're still running around. But if you're a Triple Crown winner, those guys are going to stud really quickly, and they're not running again, man.
I'm telling you though, they
You act
break
like a
down.
broken leg has anything to do. Remember the Tyreek situation?
Tyreek has the
She had a broken leg. Still took care of business,
Yeah, but
right?
yeah, but she was the receiver, not the catch. She was the catcher, not the receiver, or whatever.
You talking about our Tyreek Hill or some horse Tyreek?
No,
Our
girl
Tyreek broke
she
down.
broke her leg, right?
Huh?
She broke her leg playing
Yeah.
football with him. Carried her up the stairs.
Dude, what do you?
I don't think. Yeah, I think.
just means
Look,
you
I'm
can
trying.
do it with a
I'm trying to.
broken leg.
I'm trying to agree with you, and even my stupid ass can't stretch it far enough for that. For that to work, right? Tyreek with the.
If Tyreek was a horse, though, I know what you're saying.
Well, he is a horse. I mean,
Those
and instead of getting
Twenty of
paid,
those women
but,
all
hey,
be pregnant out
the problem
there.
with Tyreek is instead of getting paid, he paying it out. Right? He's on that other side. He's dishing it out.
I hope he's okay. I know we're.
All right.
Look, I
Move on there.
Yeah,
How'd you get to Tyreek, Jerky?
We were talking about taking care of business with a broken leg. A broken hoof.
Well, it's nice enough to know that he could get her up and down the stairs with that leg.
All right. This is a very strange story. I don't know if you've seen this, but the University of
stranger than
Akron-
we just talked about.
This actually might
stranger
be.
than what we were just talking about.
This might be. The University of Akron is running a promotion. They're going to allow one special season ticket holder a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to call plays in a real game.
What?
Plays or play?
Plays.
Ooh.
The lucky season ticket holder will help call plays on the Zips' opening drive of the season opener.
Wow.
It'll be a collaborative process
And who
with
do
the
they- who-
coaching staff.
who do they
rather
open
than
with,
Madden in
USC?
real life. They open against Robert Morris. The coach was like all excited about it because he's like, we got 15 million views on Twitter and this is great. And
Well, that's why they're doing it. I get why they're doing it.
I mean,
So
this is
I'm looking at this.
incredibly
One
embarrassing.
lucky fan will be able to script the opening drive in our home opener. Not
The
only will they call
opening
it,
drive.
so you're talking about not calling it on the radio. You're calling about telling like calling the plays on the
Coach,
sideline, right?
What do you
I
want
guess he gets to put on a headset and call.
Hey,
the plays
Jack,
out.
what do you want to call? Hey, you got something where they all just run a takeoff? Just tell them to run and throw it at one of those guys.
It's a very clownish situation here.
Yeah.
And the coach was like, I know people will be negative about it, but it's
That's
great.
zip football for you, man.
That's rough, man. Can you imagine being a player on that team?
Does everything go back to hits and marketing and
I've never heard of
yeah.
something like this.
So it's funny you say so. I'm watching yesterday and on social media, and you see where they had the Dolphin rookies all went out to the stadium, and got to see the locker because I guess they hadn't been in the stadium.
Oh, yeah.
With the stadium setup.
Yeah.
So they brought them, got them, walked around through the locker room, and had their jerseys up and looking at the whole facility. I don't remember that ever happened to us.
No, because we didn't know. First of all, you weren't sure even when you're on the team if you're going to be on the team.
Yeah, but a lot of these guys don't know they're going to be on the team when they're on the team, right?
Yeah.
Right?
I got to tell you, man, when I went down there for the first time to the Orange Bowl, hell, we couldn't find it. David Woodley was driving. We were trying to find a damn place. It was just, you got to be there by a certain time. It's unbelievable.
I did that. I blew my knee out my first preseason game, home preseason game, and so I wasn't going to play didn't play the rest of the season. But Coach Shula had me. You need to come down. You need to come to the hotel. You don't need to stay at the hotel, but you need to come to the home where they were staying down at the right by. They used to stay down by the Miami airport. I forget what the hotel they stayed in down there.
I was only a Miami Lakes guy.
In Miami Gardens or whatever that was.
Yeah.
Miami Springs. They were in Miami Springs.
Yeah,
Kings
that's
Inn.
down by
The Kings Inn. They stayed in that
Okay.
hotel. And so I said, okay. And so, and I'd only been here for like 3 days or something before I got, before I ended up in a hospital bed. And so he goes, you need to be there. And so I go, and I'm driving by myself, and I couldn't find it.
No idea.
I had no idea, and I'm driving around.
That's
I'm
how
going
it
up
was
and
for us.
down
It was
and
like,
didn't know.
just find it.
Just
It's down
find
the
it,
road.
Yeah. They didn't give you like a brochure of where, hey, just find it and get there. And then I got bitched at because I couldn't find. Coach, I couldn't find the damn place.
I'll give you one better than that. We're driving down 95, and David Woodley goes, what the hell are all the people doing underneath the bridge? There's thousands of people down there.
Yeah. That was around the burial boat lift, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was all that
10,000
time,
people underneath 95.
Right.
Well, nobody ever believed that. That was a crazy time, man. Crazy
Yeah.
time.
You remember that was a Super Bowl year. And I remember they've got the Super Bowl in the Orange Bowl, and you got fires, you got like riots, you got riots and fire both down 95 and the Palmetto, wherever you, and people are going to the Super Bowl was in the Orange Bowl, and so you got all these people for the Super Bowl, and half of Miami's burning on both sides.
And the riots had nothing to do with the cocaine cowboys
no,
and
no, it was all the
Cubans and Colombians shooting each other over
crazy.
The white powder.
Yeah, it was crazy.
That was a crazy year, man. Crazy year. Sure glad we weren't around that ball. Hey, we got the 8 o'clock.
How'd we get to that from horse racing, from not knowing?
I don't know. I can hear that lady next, scared to death to go back to that event again.
Well, we have a controversy now.
What?
Because Bo agrees with me.
I don't think either one of you are right.
I'm going to stand my ground. I'm going to stand with Woody.
I'm waiting for somebody.
I'm going to plant my flagpole with Woody.
Somebody that owns a horse or is aware of horse
you don't think you're
racing
gonna throw
or
away
a
all
trainer.
that.
I know there's some.
You don't know.
I know there's some horse.
about-
I guarantee you there's some horse people listening to this broadcast right now. And if you need to
Not
call in.
Gulfstream, maybe Calder. Is Calder still run horses?
No,
Or are they done?
no. Calder's not even there anymore. The only track
Calder's
that they
got
run. They
slot
just,
machines
well,
and
they,
poker.
but they run. I think
keep
they
putting
run
the horses down. You got
I
to
think
keep them
they
alive
run-
longer.
They
Let 'em
used to
breathe.
run the Calder at I think all the horse racing venues. Look, Pompano Park's not there. Calder's not there.
So we're
all
just
they've
down
got
to
is
Gulfstream.
Yeah.
How's Highlight doing?
I thought
Highlight's okay.
I thought Highlight was making a little comeback in
making
Dania.
a
We used to
comeback.
go once a week to Dania Highlight.
Used to be great.
Highlight's awesome.
Highlight's
That's
great.
so much fun to watch.
I had some of the greatest nights of my life at Highlight.
Yeah, it was
and
great.
there's
Didn't know
Joey
what
betting on
yeah.
Joey
Yeah.
and
It's the only guy you
sitting
knew in
there. And girl, there are a lot of ladies going to
Yeah.
Highlight back there.
Yeah.
All right. Hey, listen, enough of that. Before we get in trouble, both sitting there agreeing with me on everything that stupid horse take. Super Sure, man. When you sign your insurance policy for some brokers, that's the finish line. Handshake, commission, done. Then you may not hear from again until it's time for that renewal. Your business runs all year, and so do the gaps and the risks. That's why I'm introducing Super Sure. If your company has more than 25 employees, whether you're the owner, CFO, or HR manager, it can be too complex to just buy a policy online. Super Sure is the super agency built for you, licensed in every state for your business insurance and employee benefits, all with year-round support for you and your team. At Super Sure, .com, you can access tools like Fine Print Facts, which translates your current policy into plain English so you know what's covered and what's not, plus a business value calculator so you can estimate what your business is worth so you know what actually needs protecting. Go to supersure.com, one super agency, one powerful platform. All your policies in one place. Go to supersure.com. That's supersure.com.
Stanley Cup champion Florida Panthers, the three-time NBA champion Miami Heat, Miami Hurricanes basketball, and now the new home of the two-time World Series winner Miami Marlins.
Powered by Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys.
Call 1-800-747-FREE.
That's 1-800-747-3733.
This update is brought to you by Doral Kia in Miami. At a Domino's game, you'll always find your Abuelito, and whenever you want a low price, you save the Pricito. Save now the Pricito at Doral Kia. Starting with the Marlins, who fell again to the Braves 4-1. Miami will look to avoid the sweep tonight with the first pitch at 7:15 from Truist Park. You can catch the game right here on WQAM. To the Dolphins, who will return to training camp this morning in Miami Gardens. Practice begins at 9:30 from the Baptist Health Training Complex. And tonight, the NFL is back with the Hall of Fame game. Carson Beck will get the start for the Cardinals, who will take on the Panthers. Kickoff is at 8. Finally, to soccer. Inter Miami beats San Luis 4-2. Messi scored twice in the win. Next up, Miami hosts Monterey on Saturday. Time for weather, brought to you by Tornado Roofing and Contracting. Beat the storm. Schedule your free roof and window estimate today. Call 954-968-8155. We are in the mid-80s now. Thunderstorms possible later this afternoon around 2 o'clock. The Joe Rose Show continues now. And it is time to head out to the Toyota of Hollywood hotline. Shop over 2,000 Toyotas on sale, one location. Toyota of Hollywood on 441 between Hollywood and Sheridan. ToyotaofHollywood.com. Joe and Bo.
All right, Woody, thank you so much. And Omar Kelly from the Miami Herald, covering the Miami Dolphins, on his way out right now to camp. Another day here, a couple more days before heading to Washington to take on the Commanders in a practice and then a Friday night preseason opener. As we say good morning to Omar. And Omar, I'm just curious for you, with you, as you've taken a watch and we've had who's hot and who's not, who's had good practices and who hasn't and all that stuff. For you, give me the 3 or 4 most consistent players you've seen through the first 6 or 7 practices.
We got to start with Patrick Paul. Even though he's taken some L's from time to time, from various pass rushers, I love the consistency that he shows. He shows that he's what you saw last year wasn't a fluke, and he's possibly ready to take it to the next level. I like what I've seen from Chop Robinson. The pass rush, we've always known that that's there.
Always known. Okay.
No, I mean the pass rush has been there. It's relatively quick. It's consistent. The edge setting is still a little bit of a mystery. I know he had one effective day or a couple of good snaps, but can he do it against upper echelon talent? I'm curious. I'm very curious. And then obviously Zach Sealer. Zach Sealer. I can tell you I haven't really seen the inside linebackers come alive yet. I know that we put on pads earlier this week. That's generally when they start to really make their presence felt. And, it's okay. It's been okay. I don't really say Devon Achane because, this is not a period for backs. This is just not backs are when we start tackling for real, then you really get to see what backs could do.
We're not worried about Achane's not on that list right now of people we're worried about once this thing gets going. We just need guys to be able to block up front. He'll be fine. Yes.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
Hey, Omar, let me ask you about certainly we all agree the big issues with this team is in the wide receiver group and in that secondary, right? Trying to find those guys who are going to be there. Caleb Douglas is kind of popping up a little bit, the 3rd round pick. What do you see in him?
I see talent, but I see inconsistency. I see a guy who's probably still learning the playbook. He's making mistakes. He's probably at times running the wrong routes or running the wrong route depths or, needs some heavy coaching. I definitely think talent-wise, he's probably the top receiver on the team, and we'll just take our lumps and suffer through whatever he's going through, and hope he can consistently progress. I like Kevin Coleman now. Malik Washington is the most savvy, experienced talent that they have. But
you got that Malik to Malik connection.
That'd be nice to say, Malik to Malik.
To Malik.
No,
Eminem.
They decided to call themselves NW2.
Oh, okay.
NW2. All right, I'm writing it down.
Yeah, MW2. That's what they.
There
It's like modern warfare thing.
There you go.
MW2.
By the way, we're going to find out from guys that Malik Willis throws to are going to be his top targets, because we're starting to get a feel for that a little bit with the guys that are out there, and Washington is one of those guys. Hey, I want to ask you about the secondary, and Chris Johnson's had his moments. Juju Brent's had his moments. Jason Marshall looks more comfortable outside after being inside last year. Ethan Bonner at times has had some moments. Is that thing still open for you for the top three positions, or how you looking at it if everybody stays healthy?
I mean, we just named the guys who are one. I don't really care about who starts, because you're going to play 5 cornerbacks to make it through the season. That's just the way. I can't name you a season where you haven't had to play 5 cornerbacks. Whether it's injury, whether it's performance, 5 cornerbacks are going to play. I like all of the names that you mentioned. I would say Juju Brents is probably the one guy who I expected the most from. I haven't gotten it yet. Chris Johnson is playing like a young player. I really think that they need to be coaching him harder, because sometimes you'll see him and his technique is just average. In one-on-ones, which they rarely do, but they did do it the first day of pads. I mean, he got roasted probably every single play. And that's because his technique and his hand use was just bad. But you could tell that the talent is there. But this season is going to be so much like last season, especially the start, when the Dolphins went 2-7, and privately all you heard were guys putting the blame on those losses on the rookies, and the rookies making mistakes, and the rookies not, playing up to expectation, and the rookies not playing fundamentally sound, and the rookies having rookie moments. And that's what we're going to see pretty much at least the majority of the first half of the season. We're going to see a lot of young players, and fans are going to be excited that the young players are playing and the young players are contributing, but they're not going to catch the 10 mistakes that the young players are going to make that are just going to make this team struggle.
Speaking of those problems, Chop, you talked about Chop. Savia Naya, Jonah, hey, it sounds like you guys have been writing it, and I haven't seen it up close, but he's playing a lot better. He's got more confidence. He looks more comfortable at right guard so far. Is that what you've seen, or you're not there yet?
No, I've definitely seen it. He's practicing better. He's more consistent. Again, a lot of times he's going against Kenneth Grant, which is the same thing.
I was going to ask you about that. That was the other part of the question. That's part of the sandwich right there. The other part of the sandwich is we need Kenneth Grant to look like
he needs to be Kenneth Grant.
Kenneth Grant.
Do you?
Yeah, you do.
Do you? I don't know, Joe.
Well, you say you don't need, but you'd rather have him be better than Biggers and Phillips, because in the draft order that was the hierarchy should be that way, where he's the number one guy.
You guys are out there watching
right.
it,
and I agree with you.
Jordan Phillips and Zeke Biggers are better.
I'm telling you, I agree with you.
You think the other two guys are better than Kenneth Grant?
I do.
Right now? I haven't heard anything from Kenneth Grant.
I like Biggers has flashed a lot, and look, I look at Phillips, and just fundamentally, and like even his stance to me is much better than last year, and so I think right now those two guys are I'm not going to say well ahead of Kenneth Grant, but they're certainly got a notch up on him.
Can I ask you, Bo, do I put too much on these ones? Omar says I put too much.
No, I don't think so. They're ones for a reason, and look, they're ones because you expect them to play like ones. Now, where did we draft? What was Grant's draft number? What number was he?
15 or something.
15. So you expect a 15. So let's talk about Proctor. Let's talk to Proctor and Chris Johnson. You would expect it with just in the number situation. You would expect Proctor to be better than Chris Johnson, right? Because it's
Yes.
20 picks apart, or however many 18
That's
picks
how we
apart.
look at it.
So,
yes.
but that's what you expect. But I mean, I've been around this league a long time, and I've seen a lot of seventh round picks that become starters. And I've seen a lot of first round
I
picks
agree.
that become busts.
We've
So,
seen a lot of
right?
it here. You
Everywhere,
guys,
yeah.
and Omar's right too. There have been a lot of guys that haven't worked out here.
So, but expectations.
That's why we're in this boat.
Expectations with we talked about this. I think we talked about this one time. The reality of a first round pick is probably 40% of those players are what you expect. 60% of those players are either okay guys or busts.
Yeah.
The ratio of Pro Bowlers to busts in the first round, it certainly goes more for the bust than the Pro Bowler. You agree
You
with
think
that?
we missed on too many ones and twos?
I do. Yeah. Well, I think every team has that guy you come in and you see him.
Not like the Dolphins. Not like the Dolphins.
So you take a guy like Jadeveon Clowney. He was supposed to be all world. He made that one play in college, and oh man, this guy's good. And he's been okay. He's still around, still playing, but he hasn't been the Jadeveon Clowney that you expected him to be. And you can. There's a lot of instances. I don't know if you agree with me or not, Omar.
Look at
instances
the,
you can see that.
Marvin Harrison Jr. Look at Marvin Harrison Jr.
Yeah.
Those people. I mean, that was a prospect that everybody said can't miss. Well, he's missed. And people understand why he's got hand issues and why he's not delivering like he was supposed to. I mean, it just happens, Joe. And a lot of times, sometimes it's injury, sometimes it's medical, sometimes it's their intelligence, sometimes it's their work ethic. They got that big fat check. They're not really driven anymore. I think Kenny Grant would be better if Kenny Grant was a second or third round pick. Just because maybe he wouldn't have so much money in his bank account.
Well, so you think the money's the issue? I don't know. But I think look, there's a certain weight.
I don't know. I'm not going to change how I feel about ones.
There's a certain weight that comes with being a first round draft pick.
Yes.
And you've got to be able, and some guys, it's like doing a squat. Some guys can lift that 315, squat that 400 pounds, that you're expected to do, and others can only do 275 when you didn't realize that was. I'm just kind of making an analogy there.
The background checks they do on these guys to make sure character and the background checks that we've in the past history have been sucked at. I mean, Yeah. Anyway, it would be nice to have some of our recent ones and twos, including this year's, end up.
So who have you looked at that are guys that you're looking ready to see that almost are and I'm talking about the young guys, the rookies coming in, or the free agents that they've all signed to 1-year contracts, guys that you think may jump out and be a surprise. Like I think everyone knows that Jacob Rodriguez is going to be a good player, right? At this point, right?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he is what's average. Everything's talking about you. Everything he did in college.
Yes.
Punching the ball out, doing this, being where he needs to be. You're seeing that. But what about the guys that are kind of just like I'm watching I'm watching some of these guys and you're seeing a little more than you expect out of them. Who?
I wouldn't say that for any of the rookies. What I would say is rookies generally, I've been doing this now for 19 years, and rookies generally show up after the first exhibition game. When they play that first exhibition game and they realize, oh, this is just football. This is a game I've been playing since Pop Warner. And then they show up there, or maybe they have some success in practice, or maybe they have some coachable moments that the coaches coached them up from in the game. The very next practice is when the rookies generally show up, the ones that are going to really go to the surface. So that's what I'll be looking for from that Washington joint practice, and then from that for after that first exhibition game. But I like what I've seen from Michael Taft. I didn't think he would be. I didn't think he would be big enough to be a starting safety, and I think that he's fine.
Yeah, that's funny you say that, because that's the guy I've been looking at. Kid from Texas, and he's you just kind of see him out there, right? You're looking, oh, there he is again. There's 31 again.
All those safeties, though, like the cornerback position, have had their moments out there.
Yeah,
they've been 3 or 4 of them kind of rotated in there with Dante Trader.
Mm-hmm.
And that'll be an interesting one. See who gets that other safety position. But it is interesting to talk about some of these guys and how it's going to work out. You know who got real quiet? And we're just running around here. Jalen Tolbert. Not much.
Yeah.
A little quiet, man, from camp.
I think he's battling an injury that is having his practice reps limited. He'd been practicing with a compression sleeve on one of his legs since OTAs, and now when you watch him walk, he's got a little bit of a little hitch to his walk. So, hopefully they're smart enough to not push him to the point where he suffers anything significant or suffers a tremendous setback. But yeah, he was the top performer to me during the OTAs minicamp season, and he's been relatively quiet so far. But I suspect that there's something going on there.
Hey, before we let you run, we got to ask you about the quarterback. It all starts with Malik Willis. Now that we've seen, what are your thoughts on what you've seen from Malik?
He's progressively getting better. I know he's still got a couple of turnovers. I would love his processing speed to get a little faster, but everything that I want to see from him, I'm starting to see, or I'm seeing it better. The second week was much better than the first. Hopefully the third week, which we start today, because we do 3-day practice runs, and hopefully this week starts to get better, and then we get to Washington and we get better, and then we get to the next week and we get better. He's a young player. Somebody told me treat him like a rookie first-round drafted quarterback. And if those are my expectations, and I'm not expecting a veteran player who's making $45 million, then I could tell you that I'm very pleased with what I've seen.
Do we put Chris Johnson in with a pencil or a pen?
Chris Johnson's in with a pen because he's the only guy that can play nickel.
Right.
And I could honestly tell you, I'm not even sure I like what I've seen from nickel. I like what I've seen from him on the boundary. Nickel's a different animal, and I'm not seeing what I need to see from nickel. But you don't have any other options. Like, who else is going to play nickel around here?
Yeah.
Who's, by the way, now that, I said we're going to go, and here we go. We're just screwing up the format. I only screw the format up when Omar's around. I swear to God, it's the only time. Who's the backup tackle if this Austin Jackson thing, who's the next guy? Who's the next guy up? So we got to put somebody out there getting ready to go against somebody else.
Okay, next guy up to hold it down is Charlie Heck.
Okay.
Who is not very good.
No.
But in fairness to Charlie Heck, Larry Bourne was not very good last year, and he made it happen in the season. But my strategy, if I were Jeff Hafley and this coaching staff, I would try Austin Jackson at right tackle. I would try Jonas Avenai at right tackle for a couple of days, see what it looks like, and then if I'm not able to make that work, I'm breaking that Caden Proctor emergency glass, depending on how long Austin Jackson's going to be out. But let's be real about this. Austin Jackson's played 61 of 102 possible games in his NFL career. Are we really expecting him to play more than 60% of the season?
Yeah. No. Well,
look,
we had the alert out, no question. When he was when day to day, I was like, oh boy, here we go again. By the way, I think that idea you have for Savia Nye is one of the worst ideas I've heard you say. For a guy that's just sitting there, you guys are talking to him one-on-one, trying to get his confidence on right guard, and you're going to throw him out at right tackle? Go get him, Omar.
No. He don't got the body to be a right tackle. You don't know,
We're
Wait.
No.
He's an inch smaller and probably 25 pounds lighter than Caden Proctor. What are you talking about? He doesn't have the body.
He doesn't have the body for it. You put him out there, and you tell me, he'd be like a fish out of water out there.
I agree.
Okay. All right.
I just look at the way he moves.
Listen, sometimes you get creative on your thoughts. We just didn't like that one.
Length makes a difference at that position.
Size matters. Yeah. Length matters.
Yeah.
That's right.
Okay, Charlie Heck's got a hell of a size. How come this is not looking right?
Well, he wasn't a first-round draft.
Are you serious about putting Savia Nye, what happened at left guard, and now you're putting him at right guard? We're getting confident. You guys are writing all these nice articles, and now you're going to slap him outside and go, here, go get him at right tackle.
What a bust, right? I can hear that.
And then you rip him. Then you'll be the first one to rip him, Omar.
No. I'll ignore it.
You don't have patience. You're not a patient writer. You're one of those guys not very patient, Omar. Don't tell me you are, man. You turn on them, these poor guys. The parents ought to dislike you that go out there every day. Hey, Omar, thank you, man. Appreciate you
I
coming
guess.
on. Thank you. Omar Kelly.
So
joining
we're
us.
weekend and Jim.
That, by the way, was a terrible idea.
Omar wants to put it. This will be his third position
Yeah.
change, right?
Hey, let's really
Oh, okay.
get another shrink out
How
there
about
to
we
help
try
him
him
a
at
little
tight
bit with
end
that
next?
one.
How about we try him at tight end next
Oh,
week, Jonas
God.
White and I.
I mean, Omar gets creative, but that one went way too far. Hey, Baptist Health South Florida, man, I got to tell you real quickly, when you are injured, and hopefully Austin Jackson's going to be okay, but if not, we do have a really good sports medicine program with Baptist Health South Florida. Oh, boy. Where do the pros go? Inter Miami, the Heat, the Panthers, the Miami Dolphins all trust the great doctors that they have put together, specialists, team doctors, knee, shoulder, foot, and ankle, hand, back, hip, and knee replacement, Achilles. Man, if you're going through any of those injuries right now, I know where you should go. The ones that see high school, college, and professional athletes every day. Know how to fix it, know how to get you back out playing the sports quickly that you love and you compete in every day. Visit baptisthealth.net/ortho. Great facilities as well, including 595 in Pine Island in Plantation. One goal every day. It's about getting you back out playing the sports you love the most.
Final game of the
All right, welcome back. And I apologize about that Omar idea about moving Savai and I out
Oh,
there.
my gosh. Ugh. Almost threw up in my mouth.
I know it's good when you come back here and you're yelling about it.
I go,
during
he
the
did
break.
not just say.
I go, he got you, man. Omar got you.
I just love, we just got some nice articles about Savai and I is playing when he's got his confidence back and he's doing real well and he's been great and he's got a nice start to camp at right guard. And then Omar's going, well, I got an idea. Let's move Savai and I out there. That's just what he wants to hear. Like, really? So, you told me since last year you got the new coach, I was going to be your right guard, and now you're going, surprise, you're going to tackle.
So look at the tight end spot. You know, Dolchich hasn't been practicing for a couple of days. I don't know what that is.
Dolchich
But
been out.
But
Now
Kazmarek
Ben
looks.
Sims.
I mean, he looks like a big dude, man.
Oh, he's going to be fine. Have you seen him?
Kazmarek. And look, Ben Sims has been flashing out there.
Ben Sims got a bad rap in the offseason that he wasn't very good. And for all the guys that said that, it was a bad take because he is a real natural catching the ball, and every time I was out there, he's catching one down the middle, he's catching corner routes, and I really like Ben Sims, but he's injured a little bit.
Yeah.
But to your point, so Kazmarek has been he's been really good at blocking. They're going to go a lot of double tight.
Yeah.
In a perfect world.
Well, look, I think they're going to play three of those tight ends a lot too.
You do?
Yeah. Look, we like last year. I mean, even in Mike's offense, played a lot of three tight ends in that offense. And look, if the wide receiver room is not not producing, then that tight end room is going to get a lot of throws. And look, and not only that, but if your wide receivers aren't playing well, you're going to run the ball a lot more. And so big blockers up there in that tight end spot are going to be very important for this football team.
I think the wide receivers are going to be better
than we think.
Yes, I do. I think
the
young guys are going to get better as they get more comfortable. He's right. They got to get confidence. And the only way you get confidence is you got to have success in practice and in these, against other people.
So when you look at the wide receiver group, all those guys are good. All those guys are good players.
Yes.
They're all pro level players.
They are pro level.
It's just which ones get that notch up. But the opportunity. Look, for me in the opportunity situation in this football team, the two best two best positions I would want to be in on this football team for opportunity would either be a wide receiver or a a back.
Yes.
Right.
I think there's a safety job wide open.
Safety, nickel, and
unless something happens with Dante Trader, I think he's going to start.
Yeah.
But the next to him, and then I agree. I think there's and Omar's right. You're not just going to play with three corners all year. So you want to be that fourth guy. That's a lot of playing time, and I agree with you. Even though they've all had their moments, I think there's some open competition there. And then, I don't know about you, but I think guys are still playing for pass rushing positions.
Oh, yeah.
Those jobs are open, and we can talk about Chop Robinson a lot and this and that, and he's probably going to start. But I think there's a lot of playing time for some other guys in there on the other side.
Uche has shown up a lot. Ajabo has shown up a lot. That's and then Chop. And Chop is, Chop's had his moments. But I just got to see more out of him.
Yeah, this is year 3, Bo. This is a big year for him. Man. This is a big year.
And look, they're giving him every opportunity. I mean,
I do agree with one thing. I say too much, and I do expect more out of ones.
Yeah.
Because you know what, we had a bunch of ones, and they're all good. Almost every guy that we had was a one was good during the time of the crucial time of we had good players. But just saying that, I do understand if Chop Robinson wasn't a first-round pick or Kenneth Grant and they were drafted later, the expectations would be different.
Much lower, yeah.
But the fact is, and those guys happen to go to Penn State, which is known to have great pass rushers, and Kenneth Grant went to Michigan. It's always had really good, big physical guys.
Yeah.
I want to make sure we don't get two of the bad ones out of those two programs.
Yeah, well, I look, I'm not going to say Kenneth Grant isn't playing the level of a first-round pick, but the two other guys they got there are right.
So
right
the
neck,
problem
neck,
is
they're
Zach,
neck and neck.
Zach Sealer's really good every
Yeah.
day. He's chewing it up again.
Yeah.
Zach Sealer's
Yeah.
in. Zach Sealer beat this guy.
Yeah.
Zach Sealer beat that
Yeah.
guy. Zach Sealer beat the rookie. And Zach's
Well,
turning it up.
So part of I'm not saying Zach didn't play well last year, but obviously his production from a
He had to babysit. He had a babysitting
yeah, he's got
service next to
so
him.
I'm watching during the early in the season, and you're right. Like he's kind of having to tell, well, you got to do this, and they're about to snap the ball, and then he play. So he had to babysit those guys for a little bit, and now he can just play his game.
He trusts those guys.
Yeah.
But the other part of that, Bo, when you don't have success and you're trying things, then you start freelancing a
Yeah.
little bit.
Yeah, then
all hell breaks
sloppy,
loose.
yeah.
Then the holes
Things
open
get
up.
sloppy,
Somebody's
yeah.
going 60 on you, know.
Yeah.
Hey, we got to get caught up here. We're running a little bit late here. Trying to get caught up. Man, that 9 o'clock hour just sneaks up on you before you know it, man. There's nothing you can do about it. It just pops in there. Hey, Chill Zone Air Conditioning. I want to talk to you about them for just a moment, the great job that they do. Melissa De Verona, thank you so much. Thank you so much. The president of Chill Zone Air Conditioning. She's a fantastic lady. Why, Joe? Why are you talking about her so much? You sound like you got a crush on her. Well, I got a crush on the work she does, man. I'll tell you what I have. She answers the phone every day. How about that one? How about the president answers the phone? She's decided as president of this company, she answers the phone and then sends out these experienced crews that have been with them for a long time, know how to fix the problem, know how to put in a new air conditioning unit quickly. They believe in great service. More importantly, they believe in being on time. Just think about that. How many days have you wasted in your life waiting for an air conditioning company to come out and fix a problem when they told you they would be out in the morning and they don't come till later in the evening, or they don't come at all and nobody calls? Boy, I'm pissed off, and I know you are too. That's not going to happen. That's not going to happen when you deal with Melissa De Verona, who will answer the call, give you updates, let you know what's going on, and you can count on them. That's the biggest thing. You can count on them. Go to chillzoneac.com. Tell them you heard it right here on 104.3 WQM, because I want you to make that change when it comes to a good air conditioning company, family-owned, that cares about you all over South Florida. They cover it all. Any kind of need a new air conditioning unit, repairs on your air conditioning unit, or duct cleaning, they do it all for you. Tell them you heard it again right here on 104.3 WQAM, chillzoneac.com. Stay chill with Chill Zone Air Conditioning today.
WQAM.
You know, this is supposed to be that we're old people. You know that, right?
No,
Old guys
no,
like
no.
this, the
You know what
Beach
it
Boys.
is?
That's not at all what
You
it is.
know what
That's
it is?
exactly what it is, Jerky.
Those are the Beach Boys, the California guys.
This is Woody's tribute to us that we're the cool California beach dudes.
Hey, there's none of that beach dude stuff in Northern California. That's a Southern California thing.
No, it's kid Northern. Well, we had the beach dudes, but
Some
they weren't.
beach
They weren't.
dude.
You know.
You didn't go to the Pacific Ocean.
No, we had surfers up there, but they were in the like the sweatsuits. Are all
Yeah,
you know,
exactly.
No, I wouldn't jump in that water if you put a gun to
Hell
my
no.
head.
Those big white ass sharks out there. No way I'm going
It wasn't
out there.
it wasn't the sharks as much as the cold water, man.
The water's cold,
It's
man.
freezing out there.
Yeah. We didn't exactly like, hey, we got a day off. Let's go to the ocean.
But you know, there was those surfer girls that still, you know, they're up there hanging around in Northern California.
That's true.
A little more maybe for me, because I was closer to the Bay Area than you, being way up in by Martinez, where
my stuff's
where
way- that
the
smell.
tanker things are. Or what is it? The oil.
That smell going over that bridge, one of the
The Van
worst
Gundy
smells.
brothers, the home of the Van Gundy brothers.
And what other family?
I know the name, but I can't remember. Who was it?
The offensive coordinator just blanked out on.
I know. I can see him. I can see his face.
His brother was the head coach at FIU for a little
He
while.
was head coach at Washington with the Redskins, right?
And Turner.
The
Turner family.
Yeah. North Turner.
North Turner.
There you go, North
I
Turner.
couldn't remember it.
Yeah.
And you know what other family? The DiMaggios are from
Oh, really?
Martinez.
Yeah.
Joe D's family.
Yeah, Joe D's family.
Boy, that smell, though. Boy, I tell you
Oh,
what,
my
God
God.
bless those families for living. That's
The Carquinez Straits, you go across that thing and you
man.
plug your nose up, right? Remember
and,
they have the old
and you
like
got paid to go over that damn bridge on top of it, man, for that smell.
and,
That's
and,
just
and
brutal.
on that river they had all those boats that they were like, it was the mothball fleet.
That's right.
All those big giant boats.
They're still off the road. They're
Navy-
parked there.
Navy
yeah,
ships
the
that
Navy
just-
ships are parked.
Decommissioned, just like a
It's the craziest
like
thing.
a cemetery, right?
That's exactly what it is. They're all still there.
Yeah.
You've cut through that way.
Yeah, all the time.
Wow.
There's like two ways you can go to
Man,
Lake
we're
Tahoe.
having a Northern
two
California
ways you can go to
moment.
Lake Tahoe. You go that way, or you go, go.
You're exactly
go
right.
the other side. Yeah, right.
We're having that Northern California moment right
Yeah,
there. That
there it
was,
is.
especially before we go out there after that Las Vegas game and head out there to either Oakland or San Francisco and then whatever. It'll be fun. Be a good time. Hopefully have a win on top of that, and Vegas would make it much, much better. Bo, I got no idea what to expect. Our guys are getting better. I know everybody wants to look ahead a little bit, and they are getting better, but I don't know how good anybody is yet. You asked Omar a really good question about all our young guys have had their moment. They have. All of them have had their moment. The two receivers have had practices really good. Our tight ends have had nice practices.
Malik's had throwing the ball well.
Hey, I think Malik Will has been really good. I got no problem with Malik.
You know, the only thing to me when I watch Malik throw the football is I wish he'd get his. He kind of throws from the shoulder.
That's what he's going to throw. He's not going to change it.
I understand that, but you a throw from the shoulder from a guy that has the ball even like to their head level, that batting the ball down. I bet I
Phillip
assume
Rivers not changing.
Yeah, I get it. Well, look at Drew Brees. I mean, he was throwing uphill every time he threw it. He did pretty well.
I got to tell you, watching him, he's one of the most gifted physically throwing the ball.
Ooh, Malik?
Yeah. How much
no.
the throws he makes when he hits them. That one day we were down there, the first day that they opened up to the fans, he made some throws down.
Well, he threw that one ball over through the guy, and the guy said, "You need to." When he came back, hey, you need to run a little faster.
Yeah, don't
stop.
stop.
You want to catch this one.
Don't stop. And by the way, if you see me outside the pocket and you're not blocking for me, take off and find an open area. Because
I mean, we like what we've seen from him throwing the football, and it's going to be interesting to see when they take the when you get into the season where they take the blind and let him run, because I think right now they're telling him, hey, just
don't worry.
Don't worry about run. Just look. Even if you just
they're not saying
that's what kind of bothers me about all these reports. Oh, he threw an interception. Well, they want him to be in the pocket. They want him to throw the football and not bail out all the time, right? So it just.
I don't have a problem with throwing picks.
No, I have no problem at all.
Everybody
throwing
throws lots of picks in practice.
because
everybody.
I always say you never know if that quarterback's trying to say, hey, let me see if I can fit this in, so and if I can't, I'm not going to do it in the
Yeah.
game, right?
Right. I agree.
It's just because
That's
I've
it.
been, like I'm sure you've done that. And so when I'm doing, so let me see if I can do this pass rush move or do this, and if I can't, then I just
By the way, you do
throw
it,
out.
and your coach goes, "Hey, man, don't do that
Yeah,
again."
throw it
that,
out.
That doesn't.
They don't work.
And you go from there. But hey, man, guys, there's nobody leaving. Not one quarterback that's in the second week of camp that hadn't thrown a pick yet.
Yeah, no.
And they just can't worry about that. Malik can't worry about that. And they're talking about, all right, I get they are right. They want him to make reads faster and more anticipation a little bit with his guys, but he's got a different group, man. There's some he's not playing with the two guys that we had here last year.
Yeah.
Whatever you think of those two guys, those guys were they're two of the top receivers in the game, tops. And it's a different group, and there's going to be a lot of growing pains and a great opportunity. I don't know where you rank them. Everybody goes, do we have a 1 or a 2 receiver? I don't know. Right now, probably not, but you hope you get some. And I think Malik Washington's the most consistent guy they have.
Yep. I agree.
And I hope we get rid of those screens to him that we just abused last year. All those screens behind the line of scrimmage were just
too much.
They were just nasty to watch. Just nasty after a while to watch. Anyway, and speaking of that love affair, have you seen all the pieces they've done on Mike McDaniel and the Chargers? And Mike's his entertaining self, man.
Yeah.
They're going, oh, my God, he fools us in practice. I heard the Chargers defense, and, oh, my God, he's already tricked us a bunch in practice, and he's talking trash to us. And I go, that's
Mike.
That's Mike. He's doing what he should do. He is an offensive coordinator.
So first half of the season, oh, man, this last half of the season, 60% of the passes behind the line of scrimmage, right? So teams figured his offense. Teams eventually figured out that offense and the weaknesses in it, and made him dink and duck, made it become a dink and duck. Look, I get he's
going to say. You know what he's going to say?
Really
to
good.
that?
He's really good at blocking schemes.
Yeah,
he's really good. He's really creative with what he's doing. But we'll see. And look, let me see. How many times is it going to take?
They got a good team.
How many times is it going to take for Jim Harbaugh to blow up when you can't get a play in and you got to take a timeout in the first quarter just to get your play in because it's too long?
No, that's a problem. But I got to tell you, I know what he's saying when he goes places. He's like, I was just limited.
Yeah,
I was limited with my quarterback, what I could do.
Yeah, I could say the same thing. We were limited with our head coach.
He wasn't changing.
No, I know.
The frustration with the play calling is, and he just he wouldn't dial it down.
Yeah.
Can we come up with some plays with?
I just look at him. I don't want to. He's
not a bad guy.
He's not a bad guy. I just look like a professional. Don't have sweatpants and all that crapola.
I think he's good with that out in California. I think he's fine there.
Yeah, look, he's
I don't know Harbaugh. He and Harbaugh look like they're.
It does, but
great start,
to me, that's like oil and water, man. You look at their backgrounds. The toughness of the Harbaugh family. John Harbaugh's up there with the Giants, grinding them in the ground, and trying to make them a tough football team. And Jim Harbaugh, he's made his living out of going to soft teams. San Diego University, went to Stanford, was a soft team, made them a very physical team. And he's doing that with the Chargers.
Yeah.
And I don't see Mike fitting in with that physical nature of football that the Harbaugh brothers and their family, the most competitive family in the world, maybe.
That, Bo, Harbaugh turned that whole thing over to him.
Yeah.
He let him bring in his own guys.
Yeah.
He let him bring in some of our former players and guys that he won. He
Yeah.
said, "You all right? These are guys I won." He said, "It's your show."
Yeah. Brings a fullback
and
in
Harbaugh's
there.
a quarterback, and he said, "It's your show."
Yeah.
So anyway, hey, we'll find out together, and we'll come back and talk a little bit about the National Football League and some of the teams. Right now, it's sneaking up on 9 o'clock. I do want to tell you about your South Florida Chevy dealers. You got to check out an incredible Chevy lineup of trucks, man. All the Chevy Colorado, the custom to the ZR2. Got everything you could want for a South Florida truck. But let's get into the Chevy Silverado. The big boys, the strong, durable guys, the cleanup hitters of the Chevy family, Chevy Silverado. The custom trail boss of the Silverado EV, 10 models, 4 powerful engine choices. Silverado delivers an impressive balance of strength, dependability, and efficiency. Or you can step up the hard-working capability of a Chevy Silverado HD. Choose from the powerful LTZ with premium style and substance to match, or just go to the biggest. You want a big, strong truck? The Chevy Silverado HD High Country. That's a big boy. That's the big one. Man, I'm telling you right now. You're looking for a truck, I want you to stop by one of the 14 dealerships throughout South Florida, take a test drive, and sit down and get a great deal on a truck today at your South Florida Chevy dealers.
Odyssey Stars and Strings is back.
and Levine Accident Attorneys.
Call 1-800-747-FREE.
That's 1-800-747-3733.
This update is brought to you by Doral Kia in Miami. The Domino's game. You always find your Abuelito whenever you want a low price. You save with your Pricito. Save now with your Pricito at Doral Kia. Starting with the Marlins, who fell again to the Braves 4-1. Miami will look to avoid the sweep tonight with the first pitch at 7:15 from Truist Park. You can catch the game right here on WQAM. To the Dolphins, who will return to training camp this morning in Miami Gardens. Practice begins at 9:30 from the Baptist Health Training Complex. And tonight, the NFL is back with the Hall of Fame game. Carson Beck will get the start for the Cardinals, who will take on the Panthers. Kickoff is at 8 o'clock. Finally, to soccer. Inter Miami beats San Luis 4-2. Messi scored twice in the win. Next up, Miami hosts Monterrey on Saturday. Time for weather, brought to you by Tornado Roofing and Contracting. Don't wait until the next storm season hits. Get your free roof and window estimate. Call 954-968-8155. Rain moving a little quicker than we had anticipated, Joe. Around
I can
noon
see
today.
that.
Yeah.
Holy smokes.
Looks like it's starting to roll in here. So
Yeah.
get
all
your
right.
umbrellas ready.
Yeah. No. We'll.
We're going to get your picks pretty soon here for tonight's game.
I'm not. So
How much of the Hall of Fame game you watch?
one or two series.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
By the way, I said for anybody that gambles on this game tonight, you have a problem.
Woody's got that problem, I'm sure. You huh?
Well, it's been a while since we've bet on football.
So you got to just do it just to get back in the action,
you
right?
gotta get back
just
in the
back in the
groove.
swing of things, right?
Well, do you think most people just bet on a game, or do they actually have substance and understand who's playing and know
Well,
what matchups
I think
are?
if you look at the money all these betting sites are making, the online betting, you can do it on your phone, all these things. I think, and Woody, you know better than me, but I think betting on sports has never been more
Popular?
no, not popular, but more that more people are doing it just because of the ease of it. You don't have to go to a bookie. You can do it on your phone.
Well, it
You got
adds
casinos. You got
entertainment to the
everything.
game.
It's
It adds entertainment, especially
Right.
if you're a casual fan.
yeah. When you can sit there and I'm not. I don't do it, but Woody, you can call balls and strikes, right?
You can, but yeah, that becomes a slippery slope.
Yeah, I
don't
get
do
it.
anything like
I
that,
get it. But you can, right?
Yes, you can go play.
And I
by
guarantee
play,
you,
yeah.
there's some deviants that are doing that,
I'm sure there are.
right?
There's a demand for it out there, but that gets a little nutty.
Yeah.
You're not supposed to chase your bets. That's never.
I'm going to pass on. I'm going to pass on tonight.
Well, you got to give a pick.
No, I don't. Well, what am I going to put? What do
Because
you want me
we're
to
gonna
pick
keep
on?
your record.
Oh, Carson Beck.
Carson
I'm going
Beck,
to take
there you
Carson
go,
Beck
there you
in the
go.
over because
Yeah.
Carson was down here.
Yeah.
You can't. They don't have player props up
So
because they don't know how long he's going to play. That'd
so
be
how many
silly.
guys that are playing tonight on both teams are going to be here on opening day?
Or
Carson
some of
Beck
them will
will
be
be.
on the backside of.
Yeah. No, it's some practice squad guys and
backside.
stuff like that. But
Maybe the 35 to 53.
that's it,
will
right?
be.
Yeah.
But the other guys are definitely not playing. They're going to watch. They got the weekend off here.
Isn't it? You know what? It was always fun when we would go on to be the first preseason game or whatever, where you were going to play one series and then just sit there and watch the rest of the game.
I never had that. You had that. Yeah, I remember. I tell people this, they don't believe it. I said, we're playing Tampa Bay in the last preseason game up there, and Marino had been out. He had hurt his thrown it, and hit his hand on Dwight's
Head
in the center, and he broke his finger. So he missed all of camp except he was feeling better.
Right.
And Shoes got this wild idea that he wanted Danny to play at least half the game.
Right.
I mean, and by the way, he wanted to throw it. He said, we're going to get him caught up. Shoes knew what he had, and we were throwing it all. And it was a hot, muggy-ass night in Tampa Bay, and we were throwing. It was a 2-minute drill the whole damn. And he wanted to get that work in. It was all for him to get him ready to go for the opener. Because, Shoes is big on getting off to a big start. Speaking of that, damn, bro, they have Nat made me aware of this. Our schedule not exactly allowing us to use the heat early on here at Hard Rock Stadium.
We got 4 games, first 4 games.
Going to Minnesota, Vegas, and
3 of the first
San
4 games.
Francisco,
3
Santa
of the
Clara.
4 were on the road.
Damn.
Yeah, so you missed that September, the heat. And
I always enjoy watching a couple guys melt out there, man. That not used to that humidity. But we're not going to have
so
that.
it's funny. I remember. I remember when we were playing preseason games at this time, and it was on Mike Charles. They had just drafted Mike Charles, right? and we would play our plays, and then we'd come out, and I always we'd sit on the sidelines on our knee with just Glenn Blackwood and Lyle Blackwood, and who you know, the biggest pranksters that you've ever been around.
The greatest Christian pranksters.
So
of
I
all
remember
time.
it was like the second preseason game. We're in the Orange Bowl, and we're sitting there, and Mike Charles and Lyle goes, look at Charles out there.
I know what you're
Like
saying.
it's between plays, and so he's up. So he's looking up in the stands, and he's like looking for his girlfriend or something. He's
I
waving.
knew where you were going with this.
So we line up for they line up for a field goal or something, and Lyle goes, Charles, get in there. He grabs his helmet, run because his helmet was on the bench. Got to run to the bench, grabs his helmet, runs out to the field. He's out in the middle of the field, and he's looking around, and we're lined up in a field goal, and he's not even on the field goal team. And he's standing in the middle field, and they had to call a timeout. And Shoes, I'm gonna tell you what, Mike was a big guy, about 300 pounds. That conversation probably took 5 pounds off of his body. Because he went up one side and down the other side, and we're just sitting over there just howling.
Wow, Blackwood. I got to tell you, a lot of people I know don't have any idea about the Blackwood brothers.
Oh, both of them.
But I got to tell you, man, and they did. They sit there out of nowhere and just looking, while they're on the sideline, just looking for a prank of some kind to get somebody. Yeah. Lyle walking up to Dan Marino before his first start and tell him, you realize if you don't play well, we're going to lose this game, and walks away. And then he's getting ready to go out on the field for the first snap. He's getting a start finally, and he said he just steps back, and he looks like, who says that to the rookie?
Yeah.
And to this day, it sticks. Like, Lyle did stuff that it just stuck with you for years.
Yeah. Yeah.
And he talks about the only guy who came up, he said he's just standing there on the sideline waiting for the offense after the kickoff. And he said he looks, and Lyle's standing next to him. He goes, hey. He goes, he didn't say, hey, good luck, welcome. He just said, hey, you realize if you don't play well, we're going to lose this game. And he just walked away. And he just said, and so he tells me, he goes, so I see him later, he goes, who says that to a guy, man? Who says that to somebody during the game when he's getting ready to play his first game? I go, Lyle Blackwood says that. That's who says that to you. But he was a classic, man.
But both of them were like they're two peas in a pod, and they were like years difference apart. I mean, how many? I think they were at least 4 or 5 years separated, right?
Lyle played a long time in the NFL.
Lyle played for almost every team in the league: Seattle, New York.
Played for the Colts. He's up with the Colts.
He played for a lot of teams.
But he's one of the most entertaining guys I've ever been.
And I tell you
around.
what, they had a kind of lineage on the safety. You had Dick Anderson and Jake Scott, and then you got Lyle and Glenn.
Oh, and they played
and
together.
that combination,
fantastic.
Of those guys, and so Jake and Dick were smart and more athletic than Lyle and Glenn, but Glenn and Lyle were both very, very smart, not quite as athletic, but big hitters and made big plays all the time. And it was and then look, then you got Lewis Oliver and
Jarvis.
And Jarvis.
Great.
Yeah. So that there's been a lineage in this franchise that you really don't that probably doesn't pop up much about.
Yeah, we had the Gators.
The
That's
safeties,
right, first and second round Gators.
The safeties that a lot of very good safeties for a long time on this team.
I'll tell you, playing with those two guys, first of all, if they got a chance to hit you in the middle, they throw whatever they weigh, they throw it at you and try to knock your head off.
Yeah.
But they are also, you guys, they disguise coverages so well.
Well, they
like
knew
you guys,
yeah.
It's blitz, and then everybody's brother pull out, and you're like, it's too late. You got to snap it, and you just had them screwed up.
And they were like, there's certain guys. So they were students of the game, and they would see as soon as they broke the huddle, they could figure out where they could figure out the combinations of where where people were going. Where was it 3 receivers on this side? Whatever the formation was, and then by the time they got to the line of scrimmage, they had diagnosed what the play was going to be.
Yeah,
and so they'd kind of pass it down to the linebacker pass it to the defensive front. And I can't tell you how many times plays were made by different people just because of
Yeah.
the way they and look, they were, neither one of them were fast. You wouldn't call them fast, but they were smart enough to cheat to get that extra step
Right.
that they were able to make plays.
Were you on the field at the Kansas City game when
I was.
you were on the field or you were on the sideline when that happened? I think you were in the game.
I was in the game.
I was
yeah.
standing by shoes.
Right.
And the guy runs a corner route, tight end runs, it's wide
Yeah.
open, touchdown, and it was just easy. Kansas City scores, place going crazy. And Shoes is standing there going,
Well, so the play
he went nuts.
So I remember someone was hurt, and so and it was it went to a goal. So the goal line defense. So goal line defense is coming in, and someone came in that Lyle would typically come out from, but the guy came in for another position. So Lyle ran out, so he's not on the field. So we got 10 guys on defense.
So Lyle's standing next to me, standing by us. There's a group of us standing by Shoes, and he sees this guy wide open in a corner. Never happens. Wide open, easy touchdown. Nobody's around him, and Shoes just goes Don Shula on him, effing bomb and going, "Whose effing man is that? Whose effing man is that? Whose effing man is that?" And he's going crazy, and Lyle's standing right next to him. He goes, "Mine." He just looks at me, goes, "Mine." He went nuts. He went nuts on him.
And by that time, I was on the sideline. I was on the sideline sitting next to Glenn.
And I got to tell you, he treated
Oh, my God.
Lyle like Lyle was his first game as a pro.
I mean,
You had
beat
never
him-
known he had
beat him
14
down.
years, and he went after him. That spit was hitting him in the face, and he was going after him, and I got out there. When he got really, when he got riled up,
everyone was a target.
you just got to get out of there. It's not a good time to be around.
Right.
It's definitely not time to say, "Hey, Lyle, shake it
Right.
off." There's a lot of game left. You're on your own. Every
Yeah.
day ever leaves you. And Lyle and his eyes were water, not water.
Yeah.
He was mad. He
Yeah.
was mad because nobody ever.
Well-
And Lyle didn't let that stuff go. That
No, no,
stuff
no.
stuck with him for
Well,
40 years.
And Glenn had told him, he said, "Hey," because he had just got there. He says, "Hey, look, this Coach Shula's a whole different breed." Oh no, oh no, I've had all the I've heard all.
I've had all the guys.
So I'm sitting next to Glenn, and we're watching this, and we're laughing, right? Because we know what's going on. And so Lyle, and his tears coming down his eyes.
Yeah, no, he was.
And he
mad.
was like, you can't believe what he said to me. And Glenn goes, "I tried to tell you." Right? So the second part of it, so we go back in. We still have more game to play. So Lyle, next time, maybe 2 series later, Lyle picks off a
he
pass.
does.
A
He
guy,
picked
they
one
try
off
to
on our
throw
side.
on
That's
the,
right.
right on the flat.
Yeah.
Intercepts the ball, makes a dead sprint, and runs right to Shula and
Spikes it right in his
the ball
face.
right in his feet.
Yeah.
And just boom, just kept going.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
It was, yeah. I got to tell you, man, Lyle had a hard time getting over that.
Yeah, no, yeah.
Lyle
no.
was, you don't talk to another man that way. It's like, yes, you do. Yes, you do.
Yeah.
Hey, we got to go to break. We got more stuff to get to. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Text W
1-800-747-3733. Market opens in a few minutes from now. The NASDAQ futures down 250 points. Dow futures up 84 points. And the S&P is flat. Joe and Bo, send it back to you.
All right, Woody, thank you so much. As Kim Bokamp been nice enough to come in. I love all those old stories, man. I do. I hope people enjoy them because we had some characters.
Some of them are hard to believe, right?
Yeah,
some of them are really hard to believe. Yeah.
No, nobody would ever believe some of the stuff that took place and the childish stuff that happened and going the West Coast.
You have guys on the team that are at that point, they're 35, 36. Got families, and they're still doing the childish stuff.
Yeah, as long as they were with the guys, they're just totally immature. Yeah, no, it was. And hey, how about? Can you imagine? Like we get on the West Coast, we get there on a Friday. Friday night, we were going out after curfew. I don't want to say every guy.
Let me ask you a question, Joe. Back in our day, we go out to the West Coast to play a game, and we go Friday, and the game's on Sunday.
Right.
If we were playing in Vegas, that would have been a disaster.
Been terrible.
Friday night would have been a disaster.
They didn't have enough security to keep us in. So it's funny.
You got the gambling. You got the
only good
drinking,
thing for California is that everything closed at 2 o'clock.
Yeah.
So like 1:45, they're doing the lights are. You guys got to go now, and you would actually run into when you go to the city. Because as soon as we got in at 8 or 9, guys were out.
Gone.
Gone.
Go get your key, throw your bag on the bed, and then head out.
And then you'd run into guys like at midnight. Oh, dude, I know you guys are going to be here too. And, the whole team was like all over the Bay Area.
So you remember all the times we went to San Diego, you and I, drop our bag off, jump in a cab, and just go down to Old Town to get Mexican food. Same place every time.
And we took the guys with us, and they go, hey, hey, Bo, you go ahead and order the Mexican food. What's good, man? I can hear Nat and Danny. You can tell there went a lot of Mexican food in there. Oh, what are you guys getting? What are we getting? Yeah, that was I do miss that. I do miss that part, going to Old Town and making those tortillas in the window. Those were good, Bo. And we'll have to hit a little Mexican food, man, on that West Coast.
Oh, no doubt.
That's going to be a big one.
I tell you, they have a good restaurant in one of the casinos. A really good Mexican restaurant. I'm gonna probably end up in there. One night.
Why would you not? We went to Madrid and we ate Mexican food at the same Mexican restaurant 3 nights in a row. That was crazy. We never did try anything else. We just had Mexican food. It was like, oh, that's a Mexican restaurant. Let's go there. But that's not. This is Spanish, not Mexican. No. But I found there are a lot of Mexican restaurants.
I think a place called Javier's. I think it's in the Wynn.
Huh?
In the Wynn Casino.
All right, so we've got the top 25 in ball. I wanted to ask you here while we got some time. We talked about it before you came in this morning. Top 25, Miami comes in at 7, but once again, this thing, as you probably would expect, the Big Ten, Ohio State 1, Oregon 2, and Indiana 6. A little surprising.
Yeah.
They're undefeated last year. 5 SEC teams starting with Georgia and Texas 3 and 4, and then A&M, Oklahoma, and Ole Miss at 8, 9, and 10. UM, the only ACC team, and obviously Notre Dame and Independent.
So Ohio State is annually number 1 or 2, right?
Yes.
Annually. And look, Oregon's a great football team. I just don't see. To me, I would have Miami 3 or 4 in that, and maybe even 2.
Well, I love everybody knows they're good. I mean, they got a really, really good team. They lost a lot, but listen, talk about losing a lot. Nobody lost more than Ohio State. They had half the first round.
Yeah, but they reload. I mean, and look, and Miami's in a reload situation right now. Mario's got that in a reload situation.
He's got a lot of good young players, yes.
In Indiana, I can see that lapse, but that coach
is good, man.
Look, when he first got there for the first year, he had 2s and 3 stars guys, right?
He took guys from smaller schools.
He came from where'd he came from? Youngstown State or where'd he come from? That guy,
I forgot what
Signetti, and so John whatever the
sure
school.
what school it
Anyway,
was.
he brought that whole team in.
He did bring his best players.
And they lost one game, two
The
games.
first year, yeah, he didn't
Yeah.
lose many.
Yeah.
Made the
So I have a hard time putting him at that level after what he did last
You know
year.
who's hyped up again, and I don't know, is Texas, and obviously Manning once
Yeah,
again.
Texas to me,
They're
you know,
loaded now.
Look, I've always liked Texas football. Maybe because when we were kids, we only saw one or two games on Saturdays. It was either Texas, Alabama, Ohio State, Michigan, just some of those games. Remember you played
USC.
You'd have the one game, USC, and I always liked Texas, but and I still like Texas as a program, but they just don't. They always seem to disappoint.
They are loaded though.
Yeah.
He's got it. And listen, if Arch Manning's as good as everybody says this year, and once again they got him at the top, then they'll have a chance. But it will be fun to watch. And is I was telling you were asking me about it when you were during the break. I said, Bo, they're at certain positions. Nobody's got more wide receivers than they have.
Yeah.
They got a ton of really good running backs. That Mark Fletcher, the big running back out of American Heritage Plantation, he's different level,
And
man.
look, they kind of their defensive lines got offensive and defensive line
Loaded.
lost a lot of guys, but there's some big horses coming up right behind them, man.
He's and they got good coaching. Listen, the coaches and they're paying. You got to pay for good coaches. And
Biggest thing that helped Miami last year was the defensive coordinator,
Heatherman.
right? The
Yes.
difference between that defense last year from the year before, where they couldn't stop anybody.
Right.
Like
Couldn't stop anybody. You had to win in
could-
shootouts for 10
night,
wins.
night and day.
Yes.
Night and day. And now he's there for another year. You know.
Yeah,
It's-
boy, I tell you what, you keep him as long as you can.
Yeah.
He's that good. They don't make mistakes.
Yeah.
There's no breakdowns. Their coverage. They get after people. Very physical, like you said.
And no, you can't forget Jason Taylor with those defensive ends, those
JT.
those rushers. I mean, he's given those guys, all pro quality instruction.
Jason Taylor's
and
got
what
to
to
be
do, yeah.
one of the hottest individual coaches
Yep.
in college football. Not only as a defensive line coach, pass rushing coach, but his recruiting.
Yep.
He calls me day after the game, after the national championship game that they lose on the last drive. And he goes, hey, he's a little down. Yeah, what are you doing? He goes, I'm just driving. He goes, I'm going over to recruit the top pass rusher in the portal.
Yeah.
And I go, oh, day after the game. I go, oh, man, okay, well, good luck. Next day, they had him.
Got him.
David Wilson in.
Isn't that funny about this college game now? If you're at that level, as soon as your last game's over, you're out on the and not even when it's over. I mean, they're in the recruiting trail during the season when they can get there, right?
So I think that's the thing for Michael Lombardi and
Yeah.
Belichick that they're not gonna.
No.
There's no way after all these years being an NFL coach, you're gonna go kiss ass and go across the country recruiting.
that's why Nick got out of it.
Nick got out too.
Look, I used to go in and you try to sell your university on, we're going to give you a good education,
Right.
and I'm going to take care of your kid and make sure that he's safe, right? Those were the two big recruiting. Now it's how much money you're going to pay.
Oh no,
my
money
kid.
comes right up to the top.
Right at the top. Yeah.
All right, yeah, you're a great coach. I know you get a lot of guys. What's the money situation?
Yeah.
Hey, Bo, we've got more stuff coming up. Omar Kelly's going to join us. We'll talk to Omar on his way to camp and hear what Omar Kelly has to say with the Miami Dolphins, including the right tackle position. We'll have that coming up next. Stay with us.
WQAM broadcasting live from the Ed Moore Sawgrass Auto Mall Studios. Shop it.